Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live and back at it again, folks. It is another live stream here at the Wrestling for Life Network as we kick off another wrestling week with WWE RAW tonight. We got a busy week ahead, lots of pay-per-views coming up, lots of implications tonight, including a title match. But we got lots to get into, so make sure you strap in, strap on, grab your snacks, grab your feel good, and let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We are live and back at it again, folks. Like I said, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. This is another live stream, and we are the channel that just goes live more than anybody else out there. Looking forward to this one. It's going to be a fun one, but me and that pretty face got you for the next couple hours. We're going to run through all the fun stuff here tonight, but I will remind you, I am Mr. Evernight KJ White. The Iron Man of YouTube, that is Big Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its YouTube tag stream champions of the world, the Every Night Delight, KJ White. I am Big Nick. Hello, my friends. We'll meet again. Yes, we are back at it like a jackrabbit, but I will remind everybody, this is a spoiler-free zone. We know that this Raw is taped, and spoilers have been aplenty and everything. I know of one, but I'm not going to tell you which one. But yes, spoiler-free zone.
100%. We don't want the spoilers. We're going to react to as much as possible, as always. And again, it's new to us. Some other people may not have known. So make sure you be kind. Keep your spoilers to yourself. We won't take predictions on the matches because we know y'all cheat. But it's going to be a fun one tonight. Lots of intrigue. Again, lots of buzz about what may or may not happen tonight. Of course, again, Seth, Bronson. We have Bron Breakker, Sheamus. And again, they kind of left a little bit of the card open.
Yeah, well, that seems to be a bit of the trend. I think, honestly, this has lately become, we have more than what we normally get announced for this. Normally, we've seen it for a Raw or a SmackDown. We'll get like one match announced, a segment. What was it? It was a Raw or a SmackDown recently that we had. There was no matches. It was all segments.
4 segments announced, no matches. I thought that was hilarious.
Right.
But again, very intriguing times. Lots going on in the wrestling world. We're in Full Gear week. So this week will be the go-home show for Full Gear. We're here for Bloodsport. We are here for Survivor Series in a couple weeks. We got Turning Point coming up. We got so much coming your way. We got new merch, new shows. Go check out all the playlists below. And like I said, I hope everyone out there is happy, healthy, and safe. We will get to the chat. We want to see triple digits in it tonight. So make sure you be a friend, tell a friend, and enjoy all the coverage we bring to your table. But, yeah, what's on your wrestling mind before we say hello to the people?
Well, the one thing that I wanted to mention, because it seems like especially a lot today, and I know we were here live for Jake Paul and Mike Tyson on Friday on Netflix and everything, and how that went and the issues it might have had and the cheeks that might have been shown, which I'm amazed we didn't catch on stream, but we were also watching SmackDown. But a lot of news with Monday Night Raw with Netflix now. We know where it's going to be. It's going to be at the Inuit Arena, I believe it's called, in LA. And you had Triple H show up at Complex Con, which I didn't know was a thing until today.
Yeah, that's interesting.
To the label Travis Scott, the hardcore champion, and it comes out he's the new theme for Monday Night Raw, and he's going to be on the first episode. So a lot of buzz recently for Raw and Netflix.
100%. And again, we'll talk about the AEW side of things at some point, but I mean, it's interesting. I saw a thing going around today that in 2025 AEW is going to do smaller venues.
No shit. We've been saying that all of 2024 and part of 2023. Thank you for catching on.
Right about time. Like, I get it. I mean, maybe it's a blow to the ego, but pack the buildings, put on good shows, make some of these stories make sense, and you'll be able to build back up to those bigger venues. It can happen. But with all that being said, I mean, Raw, like you said, tons of good news, lots of intrigue. Cena, Roman, who else going to be there? New theme, new logo. they're going to pack this. They're going to pack this, and they're going to make this a big deal. And I mean, I don't think there's any looking back. I expect big things, and I expect a big show.
Oh, 100%. They're going full bore with it. I've already seen that Becky's, I guess, alleged to be on the debut, and very much that she could be almost back imminently. But also, like, they're clearly going to pack this show out. They're clearly hyping it up with now and talk the whole Travis Scott news and everything.
Yeah.
But there's the whole discussion about, like, when we were here watching Paul versus Tyson on Netflix, there was the buffering issues. There was Netflix has come under fire of not being able to handle live streaming like it sells itself that it can.
Mm-hmm. Well, we do
and
know.
Now,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, if WWE said if we have that many people tuning into Monday Night Raw as they did Tyson and Jake Paul, then that's a good problem to have. But
we'll figure it out.
Right.
Well, I mean, again, I think part of that is they are still in the infancy of doing the live stuff, Nick, and we knew that there was probably going to be some issues. I know a lot of people were kind of bummed out at what happened during Jake Paul Tyson. At times, I saw like things going around of like Royal Rumble, like 3, 2, 1 buffering, or Super Bowl. He goes kick. Like, we got NFL on Christmas Day on Netflix. We'll see how that.
Yeah, goes. That's the one. That's the, you think wrestling fans are savage if you fuck up their viewing. Imagine you screw it up on Christmas Day for NFL fans. My Christmas was ruined because I couldn't watch Tony DeVito take on, Cooper Rush there for the Cowboys and the Giants on Christmas Day.
Yeah, no, I mean, seriously, they really are going to have to iron it out, but we'll see. I mean, football should bring in less people than what Mike Tyson Paul did to an extent. So we'll see what the test is like. So again, will they have some issues once in a while? Yeah, if it's ongoing, they're going to have to work some shit out. They're going to have to open that bandwidth, my guy.
But you sold, like, imagine though, if you were to sell someone on like the whole business model. This is Shark Tank, where we're going to have streaming and everything. It's still in its infancy phase. We're still learning it, but you should sign up and have your main premiere show, your flagship show, on our still learning beta build in testing streaming. Like, no, you should have that shit dialed in before you're taking deals like that, though.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, that's hard to say because you don't know till you do it. So how do you test it without running it? So, I mean, to say that they should, I mean, it is what it is, but they're still going to go ahead with it. They got to work out some stuff. They got to figure out some stuff to expect it to run perfectly out the gate. That's why they started running shit before January. And that's exactly why they're getting ahead of this. So, yeah, I mean, will they have some issues? Probably. But at the end of the day, I think you're still going to move forward. There's no way to test for this till it happens.
Fair. But, well, that's what we even said, with Jake Paul. And I guess there was the Love is Blind before this that I didn't know because I don't watch reality shows like that. But yeah, they've tested it before and it's been a persistent issue. So I'm at least just nervous. I do like WWE's response to it of at least like, well, if we have that level of traffic, I'll eat the issue because we have that level of traffic.
Absolutely. And I mean, I've watched 3 live events on Netflix, not one issue with it. So I'd be really curious to see, what they have to work out. But yeah, I fully expect, like, give them time. And again, I think Tyson Paul, that's a different level. That's a different thing overall. So, I mean, like you said, if they pull in those numbers, then they got nothing to worry about.
Right. Well, speaking of pulling numbers, as we're about 70 people right now, let's see if we can get that to triple digits and everything. But do we want to say hi to the chat? I know you've been clicking on it and everything.
Yeah, I got Jason Michael, first one in the chat tonight. Rest and proud, reminding everybody, no spoilers. I've been waiting for tonight to get over with the spoilers. I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome back, Wrestling Crowd. Clay Lewis, good to see you. Damien, good to see you. Kevin, C Money's back in the house. There you go. That one's for Nick.
Yeah, I might have stole that from that. So my intro from that, but you can have that.
Erik, welcome back. Countdown to Thanksgiving. Yeah, right. U.S. Thanksgiving's coming up. War Games.
Oh, yeah, my work's already started playing Christmas music and everything. They didn't play it the full day, but they at least played it for like the first couple hours and everything. Just dip your toe in the water.
Right.
Mariah hasn't fully defrosted yet.
Most of the stores here are fully decked out with tons of Christmas shit. So Hold on
you
tight.
already had your Thanksgiving, so you're already ahead on the calendar. You're talking to us from the future.
A little bit. But Bradley, welcome back. And you gifted another membership. So, be grateful to Bradley out there. We're definitely appreciative. So thank you so much for that. In honor of the Bills getting a win.
Well, and also very much since we were talking about Thanksgiving and everything like that, very much in the spirit of giving and all of that. But yes, because let's go Buffalo. We beat the boogeyman, the Kansas City Chiefs, but now we just got to do it in the playoffs.
Right.
That was a hell of a game.
No, 100%. I mean, big win and looked good doing it. But Rocco, welcome back. 2 questions. 1, why is QT versus the Costco guy on a pay-per-view? That's a good question. And why is there another champion segment on the pay-per-view as well?
I want the question that is burning on everyone's mind is why is QT Marshall out here dropping diss tracks to the boom, chocolate chunk, double chunk, whatever the fuck? Who gives the fuck guy?
Yeah, I find it really unexciting. I don't care.
Why is it so? It's become so much of the focus. I know more that match is happening than Orange Cassidy versus John Moxley, and that upsets me.
You're a little bit accurate. So, yeah, I mean, dude, the Costco guy thing, I get it. It's a publicity stunt. You're trying to tap into his fan base. But my God, this is not.
We're going to see a disqualification by the Rizzler on the AW pre-show. We're going to see a little kid just come out and do this. And that's going to cause a distraction to lead to a pinfall finish. Like, that's the thing. QT's losing this. There is no winners, but QT is definitely losing this.
QT's eating a pin for sure. And he's going to do it with a smile on his face. He get paid stupid money to do very little. So, yeah, he's taking that pin all day long.
And I hate every second of it.
It's crazy. The other side of things, I don't get why we're doing promo segments on our pay-per-view.
We're going to have to enforce like a no pause rule during that of like, we all just got to sit here and grin and bear it. We all just got to get through this. Right. We'll get through it together.
Yeah, we're stuck. Monday Night Knee Pads. Welcome back, MDP. Randy Sam. How was Collision? You saw the announcement for Dynamite this Wednesday. CML guys return. Oh, the excitement. Oh, I had a wonderful.
That's different than any other week.
Right. Christian, how you doing? What's up, everybody? Before we begin, I want to give a shout out to at Big Nick's Buffalo Bills. They upset the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday and ended an undefeated streak. Way to go, pal. I'm proud of you. He wasn't on the field, Christian.
I was in spirit, but I also, can I just say, how fitting is it, though, that we were the team that wasn't undefeated, but were the favorites in Vegas to win the game? That's just saying something already. So we weren't exactly the underdogs. We were the favorites.
There you go. You actually pulled it off. No field goal necessary. You looking forward to the card for Dynamite this week? Bits and pieces, Randy. There's definitely some stuff, but I'm definitely curious. I don't know about you, Nick.
You knew. Seeing how the big highlight that I know for the segments on it is just an 8-man all-star tag match. And boom will be there. Big AJ and not AJ Francis. Have you ever been more excited to hear AJ and think it's AJ Francis instead of that motherfucker?
Right, the drop off. Like,
this man's making me want AJ Francis. He's making me want Flop Dollar.
Yeah, too funny. But Jason giving you a shout out as well. Richard, tonight's Raw looks solid, but surprisingly no women's match, just mixed tag. So yeah, Rey Mysterio is going to team up with Zelina and take on
Gable and
Ivy
Nile.
Yeah, American made. So I mean, I'm a fan of Ivy. They haven't done much with her. I'm curious to see how this goes. But again, they seem to announce things as we go around here.
So this has been a thing for me lately of like, why does every weekly episode of a wrestling show have to follow like a checklist? Like, did you have a women's match? Did you have a women's segment? Did you have this? Like,
welcome to
no, they can differ. Like, the variety is the spice of life, my guy.
Right. Well, I mean, again, it is very interesting. But again, I mean, they haven't announced a whole lot. They got a 2-hour show, and we saw it last week. We saw it on SmackDown. Not a lot of announced, but then we ended up having 4 or 5 matches. So be it. See money. Knee pads will be enforced. What?
No, there was a thing that I wanted to talk about at the end of SmackDown with the phones and everything, but we can save that till we get through this long roll call. So probably like the first commercial break, we can talk about that.
All right. TJ, how you doing? How you doing? Denisha, how you doing? Welcome. KJ got on his glasses. He means business. There you go. Or my eyes.
You can see all four of y'all.
There you go. I'm watching closely. Richard, how you doing? Jordan, welcome back. Daniel, we got you. No poiling raw. Monday.
Spoiling. I'm assuming you meant spoiling.
I like it.
How many keys might have stuck together? I don't
know. Maybe. Richard, RM girl, welcome back. Good to see you. Erik Tate got you. How you doing? How you doing? Vance got you back in there. Paul Carpenter back with us. OG Dale, what did Paul say? People complain about the arenas and the stories, but isn't it sometimes the wrestlers? I just don't give a F about mostly that is important. Good point, but do you think it's because like we could be behind a Darby or a Moxley or somebody, a Osprey, if the story was good and gave us a reason to be invested in that person?
Presentation, 100%. I'm into the Hurt Syndicate. I don't know about you, but it's all on how you're presented. That's the thing. It's a little this, it's a little that, but it's all an eventually of how you present everything. AEW feels like it's almost fighting itself at times and everything. It doesn't know which way to run, so it just kind of runs all the ways.
Right? It's a bit of a scatterbrain. And again, I call it pop-up book writing. And again, I think there has to be, I think that's what Tony underestimated. I think Tony came off like, being a internet fan and the indie mindset of just go out and have good matches and people will tune every week for just those good matches.
Right.
It's not the case. Like, you need more than just work rate.
Can I just skip the line here when it comes to? Well, no, I'm seeing a lot in the chat of no spoilers 316. You will get fucked.
Yeah.
If 316 posts a spoiler, I will take enjoyment. I've been had 360 bucks. No, you just get 2 minutes for high spoiling. You get the penalty box. Let's all the wrenches and everything. Let's calm down. No one needs to leave because they post a spoiler. You just get in the penalty box.
Light your torch and get your pitchforks.
Right. No, calm down. This is the day we've been waiting.
Alexis saying Mike Bailey will debut in the Continental Classic. So, yes, I've read that as well. Cool. I think it will be very interesting, Nick. Could Mike Bailey enter and win? Is he going to compete to the finals? Does he get buried in just the round robin? We will find out.
I think he'll compete. Well, I think it's to me, the biggest thing that's interesting with this is that no one's thought about him going to WWE. I don't think it's likely. I think he's been the most earmarked, checkmarked AW guy because he can still do all his independent bookings while being AW, and no one bats an eye. Meanwhile, you've got Josh Alexander, who's no longer taking independent bookings. Nudge, wink, wink.
Right. And again, I hesitate nowadays because we had it reported. We had it that, we were convinced MCMG and AEW for sure. Then it was MCMG, NXT. Neither of those things happened. We've seen it time and time again. So until he walks through the curtain, I think it's a good fit. If you put him in the Continental, you got to do something with it. And I hope they do.
Oh, it makes sense. And you need something like, I still want Okada to be Okada, like not AEW Okada. I want New Japan Okada to actually show up. And if you got New Japan Okada versus Mike Bailey in 2024, spicy.
Well, I mean, if you can push more toast to the moon the way you have, you can push Mike Bailey and do it well. But again, he brings a different angle. He's a hardworking guy. I hope he helps the company. I really do. And I hope they book him proper. He's just not another Ricky Starks or Deonna Purrazzo.
Speaking of another Ricky Starks and Deonna Purrazzo, Boston, what up?
What up, Boston? TJ Sappett. Kicks is back with us. Good to see you. Good to see you. Vance, we already got you. We got Randy Sam. Billy is back with us. Hope you're doing well, Billy. Thank you for being here tonight. Dun, dun, dun. We're at 74. We want to get to triple digits, folks.
Right. Well, and then I did also see a fair amount of people even doing the hashtag road to 6K, which I like that's kind of independently caught on and everything. But we're like so close. Like we're literally like Make an alt account at this point, and we'll get there. Like, just,
right?
We're ever so close.
Yeah, by the day it keeps growing, and every day we get new subscribers, which is awesome. Not a day goes by without at least a few, and we're creeping to that number. We can't wait.
See, we're like 7-Eleven. We may not be doing business, but we're always open.
I'll take it. The Chiefs give you that win. Chiefs will get home playoff games. See you Bills in a death hole for you and Casey.
Fool, cool. If that fool, yes, you are a fool, but that's cool too as well. So then when we beat you in Kansas City, finally, then what? Like, it's so weird being a Yankees fan, but being a Bills fan versus Kansas City, it's like being a Red Sox fan. You're going against the evil empire. You're going against the Patriots. I said this on Sunday. To me, Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen is now the new Brady versus Peyton Manning.
Yeah, fair enough. But Jose's here. I have a hot take.
They have a hot tour.
A hot tour. Not good. I'm a fan of mixed tag, ADAZ. I'm a fan of mixed tag too. Let's go. Right. Josh Allen greater than Holmes. Yes. Josh Allen kicking ass, doing better than Purdy.
Okay, jiggity jam. Solid nameplate Nick. Fair enough.
Solid nameplate Nick.
I don't know how we got there, but I'll take it. I'll get that John Jones chain after he's the GOAT. Did you see him out there in the fucking interview and everything? Like, that's the baddest man. We saw the baddest man get put away on Friday, and then we saw the new baddest man fight on Saturday.
Just a different level.
Right. Sweet, scrumptious Tony Rings. I like how it's Tony Rings and just adjectives beforehand. Right. Got a vid on all the news from Friday, as well as a vid on who could be the ladies U.S. champ. Big love. Shout out Spaz. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I think I have another one as well.
Yeah, check out Spaz. Lucas Nation, sup KJ and Nick. Do you think Swerve is getting written off again? Because he shows his shoulder was broken. Yeah, I'm curious about this one. And is that their way of getting him? Like, is he still going to go at Full Gear though? I believe.
I would assume that, and then they write him off then. If it's like, because again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a small town bird lawyer, I've not stayed at a Holiday Inn Express, none of that, but I still saw Swerve show up the shoulder and, like, Hurt Syndicate beatdowns are for real. If you sell that Bobby Lashley showed up and they took out Swerve and sidelined him, you get Swerve some time to refresh, you hit the reset button with that a bit, and you really get over, I think, Bobby Lashley and the Hurt Syndicate if they took out the top guy on like day one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, my only concern is I think the show's starving for stars. And Swerve sitting on the shelf, that breaks my heart. Now, if he's hurt, he's hurt. You can't do nothing about it. But my God, does that mean more TV time for Jericho? Yay.
Yeah, but this becomes the issue, and this is the issue that AEW backed themselves into of, do they have to put stars on the sidelines or whatever, let people reset and everything to reset the programming, reset the stories as a whole? Or do they keep trudging along and halfway trying to patch stuff up? And the patching hasn't worked. It's like sorry. Go ahead.
Well, no. But I think at some point you got to make a hard left, right? You got to make a choice and just
turn that could be this.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's what we're getting here. I know Moxley's talked a lot about it. Again, the context is king, because sometimes it's like, why is this guy saying all this stuff about where he works? So it's interesting. But at the end of the day, as we are about 5 minutes away from the start of the show, folks, I mean, it's real. It's much needed, and I hope they have a plan. But again, guys, it feels like the wrong guys are always missing, and then the guys we don't want to see don't go away.
Is it the wrong guys are missing, or that they can't build anyone to replace those guys? That might be the biggest thing.
A little thin in that regard for sure. And I mean, I think in addition to that, like, you don't have, like, you need some wrestlers that resonate with the crowd, that when you come out, they're like, I mean, to Jericho's credit, early AEW Jericho, at least he had the crowd singing. He had everybody in the crowd singing his song, whether we loved it or hated it. At least he had that,
Right. More piped in song. Mercedes Moné or Jericho?
Oh, I think Jericho had some deep ones, but Mercedes built it right into her theme, so that's kind of cheating unto itself. So yeah, it's neck and neck, bro.
Right. Spaz going neck and neck with himself here with a $5 super chat saying big respect for Speedball. Love the guy, but as a WWE guy, if I got to choose one, I'd take Alexander. Yeah, well, that's the way I think
I'd pick
the way the shit split. Yeah.
Right. Tony, how's it going? Ringsider Anthony, how you doing, bro? What's up? Go check out Anthony's TNA weekly review as well. It's in the playlist down below. J1 back with us. What's up, fellas? Did I mention Travis Scott will provide? Yes, so that's big news. Nick touched on it already tonight, but yeah, Travis Scott dropping the intro for Raw moving forward.
It's amazing how Tony will spend like $200,000 for like November Rain for full gear, and that'll get it way over than anything he's booked. But Triple H can just show up. Thing about this, you have a crowd full of Travis Scott fans,
right?
Respectfully, I don't know about you, but I don't think we're exactly in the age demographic for Travis Scott on the average. We don't fit the bell curve, to the extent. But to still have Triple H come out when it's all about the game and the crowd lose their mind, that's a statement onto itself.
A little bit, right? So, and again, I think that it's just funny because it feels like a flip. Like AEW was the young, hip, indie, edgy grunge of wrestling, and that has so changed. You're just like littered with WWE talent. You're getting songs like November Rain, which, don't get me wrong, an all-time fave, but it was just like you said. But the other company, it was supposed to be the old company, the lame, boring wrestling, going out and getting. I relate a little more with Travis Scott.
Instead of, hanging out with the cool relatives and everything, we went and smoked weed before Thanksgiving dinner with the fucking awkward cousin and everything out by the fucking garbage bins and everything like that.
Right.
And then now the cool uncle that plays Motorhead and still wears a leather jacket into his 50s and everything showed up. And so now instantly the awkward cousin isn't cool anymore. That's really what it is.
That's pretty fucking spot on, to be honest. Thoughts on AEW announcing winter is coming in Kansas City, Missouri, December 11th.
Cool. Yeah, it's called the Buffalo Bills showing up.
But yeah, I mean, so winter is coming returns. This has been an annual tradition. One of the few specialty shows that Tony kept. So yeah, I mean, Kansas City should be fun. I mean, some people like going to KC. Some people hate it, but that's different. But yeah,
I hate their football team, which is shitty because most of my fantasy football team is their football team.
WWE updated the Wyatt Six on the roster page. Okay, not sure what that means. As far as what did they do? And I kick out of a stunner on 2. There you go. Mega's kicking out of stunners. WWE doesn't do anything with Intercontinental belt story wise. Same apply to the tag belts. I disagree, Tony. We just saw a pretty good run from Gunther. Since Gunther, we had the storytelling of Jay and why he had it. I don't know how you feel, but I think there's been plenty of story for the IC title.
Oh, we've talked about this. Again, this has been one of our biggest talking points throughout all of 2024. And I'm glad that we're pretty much closing out 2024. To hell with you and your Dolphins. You whale and Dolphin.
You'll do nothing.
As I'm about to get then. I will hold up at now. Okay. I'm holding it now.
I'm coming.
Pause.
Tanisha with a super chat.
Hey, KJ Big Nick. I don't like the way AW treating Camille as Mercedes bodyguarding. It's really sad, and Raquel is Betty bodyguard.
Then
I'm waiting at a now.
Wait now.
Yeah, God damn it! You said now and then told me to wait.
Hiccup. Forever.
Oh.
What did you
know? Oh, I got forever.
Okay. I'll let you catch
We'll sing that together. We are together, folks. So if you're singing up with us, 100%.
Together.
Yeah, I just got it. So there we go.
WE logo. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick and I are in sync and ready to go tonight. Don't say bye. Click that like, share, subscribe, and be a part of all the fun. Be a part of the show as I got Seth Rollins.
Yeah, Bat Rollins. So
yeah.
Thank you very much, Denisha, for the $5 super chat. 100% of yes, I think we're all in agreement of Camille has a bodyguard been booked worse?
She's been booked poor. Like, I mean, Raquel serves her purpose, and we talked about that. But I really think that, like, we even saw it. Like, she's walking around with a sling. Statlander slammed her arm in a door. Like, it should be Camille slamming Statlander's arm in a door. Like, that's the impression she should be leaving.
That or if anything, Mercedes has got the arm in the sling, and it was all a fake. It was all a hoax. It was all a ruse.
Absolutely. I mean, Sasha fights Queen Aminata, wins clean. Camille fights her, goes hardcore toe-to-toe with this lady, and Sasha helped her cheat to win. That doesn't make any sense. We're doing it backwards, folks.
Right? Well, we have now Raquel and Liv coming out as they look like an old Navy commercial. But yes, we had Seth and Bronson coming out almost wearing the same attire to an extent. How much do clothes cost in the Matrix? We had Sheamus coming out like he's at a Comic-Con, and then Bron Breakker like he's, out there on college game day.
Right. Word. Odds. Welcome. Doing Kansas City in December. Sounds like fun. Yeah, let's go. Right, Josh Alexander versus Speedball at Bloodsport. Nice.
Slytherin Anthony saying hi from England. We're international. We got bros in different.
They even get us at Hogwarts. That's excellent.
Yeah, exactly. Well, are you Hufflepuff or you a Ravenclaw?
How dare you?
I don't know. I'm asking. Which house are you?
I'm
sure you've done the sorting house, my guy. I'm guessing Gryffindor.
I'll take Gryffindor.
This man.
I'm from House Lion. That's anyway.
Yeah, what's up? I'm the king of the forest.
Right. As we are getting a replay from SmackDown.
Right.
That's how you doing.
But so do you think that we're now, because we've got Bronson with 2.0, that it's inevitable now at this point that we're going to get the Shield line?
Yeah. And then, like I said, it wasn't my first choice. I see people, because every time something happens in wrestling, there's a giant group of people that hate it no matter what.
Right.
I listen, at the end of the day, it wasn't my first choice for those two to get into this. But it adds up. Like the dots connect. And that's all
I think it's the best choice.
You think it's the best choice?
Well, because I didn't want to see Cody again in another bloodline thing of like, he's done too much. Move along or you're stuck there.
And
you still get the awkward tension of Seth and Roman, of Seth saying, the next time I'm in the ring with Roman, I'm going to stomp his head in.
Yeah. And the last time he was in the ring with him, he did stomp his head in. Well, he took that chair shot. We got company. Nia Jax in the house. What draft?
Well, again, this is the annual time to where KJ is able to sit there and talk about how the draft doesn't mean shit. The fucking brand loyalty is nothing but a facade.
It has definitely gone off the rails. And I think part of that is there's a lot of people on SmackDown that seemingly are going to be on Raw coming up. So do you maintain the brand split, or do you just let it go free floating so you can get that Netflix time for everybody?
Oh, I think this is floating like a fucking turd in a fraternity toilet bowl. Is Tiffany Stratton WWE's Mariah May, and now they're trying to make Candice Mina Shirakawa with the purple hair? It kind of has that halfway vibe.
Right? No, I mean, I think that it's interesting. They release Indy, and now they got Candice as part of like this little Nia faction. We haven't had a whole lot of female factions, so I'm okay with this little group.
Yeah, but Indy and Candice were trying to usurp Tiffany out of her spot and everything. That could have been the babyface shift. That could have been the babyface pivot for Tiffany. But it's weird how these two women just fought each other at Crown Jewel, and now we're like, let's be friends, best friends.
Remember, it was a champion exhibition. It wasn't really a grudge match of any sort.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
How many unifying title matches and everything like that, or
Wasn't a unifying title
they
match.
just shake hands and kiss.
That's all it was. There was no rivalry. It was just simply champion on champion.
Well, it's the trope of heel plus heel of you've said this more than I have, of to where we have to have women's war games to oppose the men's war games.
And here it is. Here it
right?
is. I'm watching SmackDown Raw on a Monday night. Yeah, pretty much. As more members of the SmackDown roster. I mean, we do have floating tag teams, but other than that.
Right. Well, do you always think it's interesting that Naomi has different attire than Jade and Bianca? Like, aren't y'all friends? Y'all can't coordinate your outfits or nothing?
Like, she's the Kelly Rowland of the group. Every time you see her, she's just adios, guy. Let's go.
Which again is still an interesting pairing combination, which by the way, go and check out. I know Anthony talked about this over the weekend and everything like that. So go and check out Anthony's whole talk about like Bianca and Io and all. They're kind of, this is shoehorning shit just to make a War Games match. Of like, I don't like it.
Being honest and being fair, yeah, this felt, we said it for a couple weeks now. If out of nowhere, 2 weeks before Survivor Series, you're like, kapam, let's call out to Hogwarts, but
right,
whatever the fuck. There we go. And
that's what War Games though. That's what they did.
And that's kind of what the vibe is it does feel a little bit of, there's no real genuine kind of rivalry or over.
This is my brutality.
He's back.
Let's go. Hamilton.
Yeah, look at this look. She looks like the guy from Falling in Reverse.
No, you can't say that. Paige will sue you over that.
Right?
No. Yeah, no, she looks like.
Rhea gives us the War Games.
War Games and just
War Games.
No, how you gonna headbutt with a mask?
She got a mask.
What the? Imagine Whip Hamilton shows up day one back on the court with the fucking Batman mask and everything, right? And then it's just like War Games. I'm like,
right, but the mask.
I think the cat's out of the bag. It was kayfabe.
No way.
You're kidding me if you still think that was good shoe.
You really?
She still has the orbital shit? No,
dude. She 100% has the horrible shit.
Wow.
And the headbutt was a shoot. Like was a work. Like
so. She didn't all right. So I'm supposed to believe that the mask wasn't the work. It was the headbutt.
Well, she wasn't. Even if she is hurt, she's not going to run the plastic mask into someone's face. Like, what do you mean? It's definitely forced. She definitely got hurt. That's why she's wearing the mask.
Mm-hmm. It's not a gimmick ever. It's not, and it never could be. Never.
Baby face though. She literally hurt a bone in her face. I don't know what to tell you. We added to the rosters page and updated renders. Oh, okay, right on. Thank you, Misfit.
Fair enough.
I don't mind the brand hopping. I do think it's shanky that EO has her own group and has joined a random. Yeah, I mean, I criticize AEW for that as well. I don't, you have a faction, all of a sudden you just forget that for a little bit. This ain't it.
Yeah, that's the thing is, to me, this works as like individual matches in separate feuds. Like you're just shoehorning shit. Like, and especially as we're getting a replay of the Bloodline storyline from SmackDown and everything.
Yeah,
which I do want to talk about that if they go to commercial. But when you have something that's so succinct and so long, like has such depth to it, to have something that has such little to it, it stands apart. It shows out that much more.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, at the end of the day, that opening the show isn't really going to affect what we're all waiting for, which is the Bloodline. So,
right.
I mean, and another Fatu coming our way apparently now. Garbage.
Is there any truth to that? I've just seen the image.
Yeah, I've just seen the image and the report going around. Apparently, was Justice Fatu.
Journey Fatu. We're gonna take a journey. I've been around the Fatu and
yeah, shit. It's like everyone just pushing forward their Samoan child. Take mine, son.
Well, did you see the thing up to where Rikishi randomly put out, I don't care how old you are, you shouldn't talk to your parents, all this or whatever. And even I think it was Misfit just messed me up. They told Daddy Keish to shut the fuck up.
Garbage start to Raw. I don't think it was a garbage start to Raw. Even if I don't like the match, I thought the start was fine. Rhea returns. It's good enough. I mean, again, garbage might be a bit strong for my taste.
To me, well, looking at it from commentating on wrestling, we kind of do this as a thing, aspect of if this is now going to be the start of the third hour that this audience is going to view. I start with Rhea Ripley showing up. I instantly get the crowd back hype and everything like that. I get them back alive and everything. So
yeah, fair enough. For sure. I mean, I got no problem with it. I mean, again, we criticized what I felt was shoehorning a War Games for the sake of a War Games. But that all being said, now that we're past that tidbit, I mean, the promo was fine. Everybody talks about booking the women, making the women stand out. There was 10 very strong women, and it's official.
For every 2 comments we get of saying that, why are they doing a women's War Games, we'll get 3 comments saying, why aren't they doing a women's War Games?
Yeah.
And everything. That's the issue.
Alan asking, do you think we'll have a women's Intercontinental Championship debut in 2025? Yeah, I think, was it you that said maybe around Netflix? I mean, it's not a terrible show.
That's what I think is you do at the Netflix debut, because have you seen all the stories going around about like people being so thrown off about the women's US title and like why they're like certain Raw talents included and certain talent isn't, and they don't know why they're not involved. We just don't got shit for it. Like the whole thing seems really weird with this launch, so I still think it's Raw. Becky as you're competing for your first, WWE Intercontinental Champion, but then everyone's going to say Becky Hogan.
Right. Well, I mean, it is what it is. I would rather it not be Becky, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, again, they're going to go big.
We got Bayley.
True. Triple H is a great wrestler, not a great booker. I think he was a phenomenal wrestler, and I think he's doing a phenomenal job as a booker. So we might disagree on that. Show your work.
See how Kevin Nash did with booking when it came to WCW, and we're kind of vicariously seeing how HBK does it. So HBK so far is the only one that might be able to give Triple H a run for his money, but I still think it's new booking within Triple H's kingdom. So I think ultimately he was saying he's the game for more reasons than one.
Yeah. And I truly believe if we look at what's happened since WrestleMania, he's had more wins than losses. Not everything's been a gem. Not everything's been perfect. But I mean, I feel like he's cooking on all cylinders. SmackDown has been hot. Raw's had a lot of good moments going into the last few episodes of the 3 hours were some of the best Raws of the year. So yeah, man, I mean, for my money, I got to give the guy credit where it is due.
Well, no one's infallible. And so like we even said it really, once Vince was out of the way, it's now like the cool uncle came back and was able to show up at family reunions versus just we had to sit there and try and, make conversation with cousin Kyle and shit like that. So how
many go ahead.
No, that was literally it.
I distracted you with the Kyle. How many matches will Survivor Series have? I'm guessing with 2 War Games matches, we'll probably get 6, maybe 7.
Oh, I'd say 8. I'm ballpark 8, between 8 and 10. I'll say.
Oh, they're not going anywhere near 10. They're not going.
No, so then I'll still at least say 8. 8 would be probably then top end. I think you get the 2 War Games matches at least, and then maybe you get a regular pay-per-view-ish between that. Maybe you get a pre-show match. Do you get a pre-show match?
They haven't done a pre-show match in ages. And I don't anticipate.
But this is like Big 4. This is Big 4.
Yeah, but I don't know if they'll do it. And I mean, I think the 2 War Games matches are going to eat up a considerable amount of time, knowing how they like to be very stringent on timing. I think 4 matches in between the 2 War Games matches.
That's actually not a bad point. That's a solid point with the timing of you actually might trim it down, because especially like Bloodline that Civil War is going to get probably an hour.
That match is going to take an hour in entrances.
Facts. Well, as we are on the first commercial break, we are on a commercial break. I want to pose this question to you. I will pose this question to the floor and everything. We had this at the end of Friday Night SmackDown of Roman's trying to call the wise man, but the phone is disconnected. Is this because Solo stomped out Heyman's phone before he destroyed him? Or is this because, remember, Heyman had two phones? Call Roman Reigns, call The Rock. Could Heyman be I got one phone, but I don't have the other?
It would be insanely interesting if Paul was to turn on Roman. That would be insane. I don't think anybody anticipates that. I mean, it's a long shot. But again, dude, when he said call the wise man, the pop just saying the wise man got in the arena was insane. There's wrestlers out there right now that can't get that pop. And all they did was say his nickname.
Right.
So we all kind of popped for it. But again, this number is no longer in service. Dude, what a sweet touch to end the show. I thought that was great.
And then they took you there.
Yeah, man, because we're all like, oh, yes, Paul back. It's a given. Maybe not.
Right. Well, and JV's saying, no, there's a video going around that points out Sammy switched the phones. I know you watch JD from NY. You watch A Little Hobbit. Because, yeah, no, I even saw him share around that video and even people commenting on the video he shared of that of like, no, it's the TV remote. No, he doesn't want his phone to be broken. Like, just trying to take mountains and make them molehills and everything. Sammy dug in his pockets on one thing and moved hand to hand. And
I don't even know what this theory is. Like, Sammy.
I'm going to leave it at that. Because that's all the theory is. I'm almost the theory of, I've heard it thrown around and kicked around of, could Heyman show up as we're getting an advertisement for Netflix. Monday Night Raw, January 6th, the Inuit Dome. Tickets on sale Friday, early access Wednesday, QR codes and all the such. But could Heyman show up and lead Bloodline 3.0 of a Lance, a Journey, a Hikaleo? Because, I mean, we got so many. We got, tribes upon tribes in this.
Right? Yeah, man. I like anything's possible in this story. And I'm ready and willing to go on this roller coaster with them. I don't know. Again, I think it's a bit of a tease and Paul, but is there another reason? Is there more to this? Has Paul sided with, the head of the corporate table? What is happening?
Right. Well, there's been a tease with Tama Tonga and all of that, which I almost feel like you intentionally set up, the Reddy, Willie, and Gable can transition early with what you said there and everything. Right. But this is I've got Chad Gable and Ivy Nile coming out in the most patriotic, that starts with an M, attire I've ever seen. But yeah, Bird Brain from Jay. Yeah. He's more, what a bird leaves on a stool. But yeah.
I got to understand what the theory is, man. Well, I don't. Yeah, what Sammy
it's that Sammy is secretly essentially, I guess, a double agent for Solo of that he's switching phones that Roman wouldn't know. That when he's going to call his phone, listen, you have to be stupid to understand these theories. I just need you to understand that because the people who propose these theories are from New Jersey, so they're stupid. But yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the match has started off. Get your votes in. Who are you taking in this match? American made or Lawo? How are you feeling about it? But so you're saying that Roman was the phone would have to be a clone, because if you just gave him a random phone,
no, he was bunk. He got the dummy phone. But again, this is like I said, you'd have to understand, like if someone handed you not your phone, would you realize that it's not your phone? So, like I said, I don't speak for all of New Jersey, but I think I speak for a short contingent of New Jersey of this. Like, you have to be not paying attention to think that this theory is a thing.
What's like, I mean, again, even the theory that Paul broke his phone, like when they beat him up. I mean, if your phone breaks, you get a new phone. Like you don't like, fuck it. I got 3 others. Like maybe he did. I don't know.
Maybe he went all Ron Burgundy and became a recluse and everything.
6 matches, 2 war game matches, 4 regular matches is JV. Happy
That's
Monday, Blast Jordan Smith. Good to see you. Damien, I'm predicting 6 matches at Survivor Series War Games. I hope someone comes back tonight. They already did.
Yeah, mommy. Rip Hamilton, get out.
Right. I'm predicting WWE saving Cody versus KO for Saturday Night Main Event. That's the rumor.
That's not a bad thing, but I still, either way, I like that Cody is away from the bloodline. Like that's the thing is I need Cody to be away from that.
Yeah, for sure. I completely agree with that. As Ray going up to the top. I'm curious now if he does anything for Survivor Series or they just hold him out until then. And yeah, I'm curious how that works. If
you do KO and Randy before you do KO Cody.
Randy's on the show. KO took him out with a neck injury. So do you do like Cody KO and the match is a schmoz and they end up the rematch is at main event?
Survivor Series is so hard to me to predict because you've got to contend with the beast in the room, the animal in the room of the Bloodline Civil War. That's what everyone's tuning into. Right? It's like fucking Infinity War. I'm tuning in to see Thanos. I don't give a shit too much about Captain America at this point.
Right.
A little bit.
Yeah, fair enough. Super chat from Spaz. Paul got a new phone and said, F both bloodlines. I'm going to manage KFC Collective.
No, he's going to get Brock Lesnar.
Ivy in control going into commercial break, folks. Phone gate, B Hockey on it. Welcome back, B Hockey.
Well, Gilly. It's interesting how much like Alpha or American Made has really like upped their attire game here. They've gone from just we're generic singlets to like rock flag and eagle.
They're all like Hummers and shit. Like it looks like an NRA fucking
without both heads.
Right? It's crazy.
Right?
WWE went sticks and got the demonic rapper from 2021 where he had that effed up concert. I'm not down with this BS. Why?
All right, Gilly. All right.
It doesn't affect me at all. Come on now, don't be silly.
What?
You can't win.
What strain are you smoking? Because please don't smoke that ever again. Because the demonic rapper.
Yeah, Richard, I'm kind of stuck with you on this one as a valid comment in the chat. But yeah, I'm really right. Yeah, I don't know how they do Cody KO for 4 more weeks. There has to be something, and just to like, there has to be a reason. Like, does KO beat up Cody and get suspended for 3 weeks, and he's allowed back at main event? We needed something to explain why we're not at Survivor Series.
Well, but do you do a schmoz with KO after you just had a schmoz with Randy,
right?
KO? Like you're doing schmoz on schmoz.
Is it overkill or is it part of the gimmick?
It's redundancy. It's redundancy.
Maybe, right? Like, and I don't disagree with that, Nick. That's my thought. Like, maybe it is a little too much. Part of me thought, well, is that KO's thing now? He just fucks people up. He doesn't care about the match. I don't know. I don't love it.
He goes full Stone Cold Steve Austin, just hits him. Right. I did it for the Orton. I did it for the quiche.
Right. I think they're holding off KO and Orton till Mania. I actually think Orton. I think it's been Orton Cena at Mania. I really do.
Well, and we've pretty much had it all but confirmed. At least John Cena will be at the Royal Rumble in Indianapolis. Do you think he wins it?
I hope not. I hope they find a reason. He doesn't need to win it.
Oh, I don't. Yeah,
be in it. Like go in first. Get thrown out 22nd. You don't need to win. Have somebody like I don't know somebody that you might beef with throw you out, and then you got story. But
John's a hell of a run though to go in first and go out 22nd. Like that's not a bad shout actually. Like, that's pretty like how they've kind of done that. That's an MO.
But yeah, I mean, use it to kind of like put a guy over, like, oh, so and so got out John Cena, and there you go. But I don't want to see him win. I don't want to see The Rock win. I don't want to see certain people. I don't want a Goldberg winning, just because it's kind of a cool thing for somebody that we don't really expect to win it. So even if John Cena was in the final 3-2 and somebody chucked them the fuck over, I'm good with it.
Well, and I think that's the biggest anti-Vince thing or one of the big anti-Vince things that Hunter's done is we're past the part-time bullshit of part-timers will not be a focus because there's no longevity in that versus another three-lettered company that might start with a vowel that's all about that part-time bullshit.
Right. That's 2 count as we come back out of commercial break. Survivor Series will be 14 matches with 3 more on the pre-show and a scrum afterwards. Yeah.
You misspelled. You spelled, Full Gear and try to put in Survivor Series. Yeah, you fucked it up. You did it backwards.
How about an unsanctioned match between Cody and KO? KO wins non-title. No. I don't love it. Don't love it.
You can't maybe do an unsanctioned match and then make it non-title.
All right. Or maybe there's no match at all, and then KO shows up and calls out Cody, and they just fight. Maybe they just have a fight. I don't know.
Maybe he just hits him when he's coming out the tour bus, and you have Randy screaming and everything, and fucking Shadows just runs off and just trying to bite the car tires and everything like that. That's maybe what I would do.
Yeah, Vega hits the DDT.
Tilt-a-whirl DDT.
There's no room for a young, unexpected Rumble winner.
It's been a hot minute. Well, and as Chad Gable's trying to lock in that angle lock on Vega as tagging a Ronald Mysterious.
Right. It's odd how I don't see anybody new win the men's Rumble. It's either Cena, Randy, Punk, Roman, Rock. No one else. I mean, I think the one name in there that I'm okay with is Punk, Nick.
Well, yeah, I'm 100% with that, but I'm saying even the whole to answer the comment of seeing new names and everything. So Drew, all of that's not new names. To see a Roman in there, because I'm assuming Roman might be in there, would be interesting. But that's the thing is people will say comments like that, but then when you ask them, so then who would you have that's a new name that would win it or be in the final 5, be in the final 10? And they can't come up with one. So it's like, which way of the sword do you want to go here?
Yeah, this one's going to be interesting because all the matches we kind of have an idea what they're setting up for Mania as. Chad, 2 count.
Right.
It's hard to say because we kind of think that there's certain things at play. Does the Rumble get included in that story, or is it something separate because you have other shit going on? Like if it's Roman Rock, Roman doesn't need to win the Rumble. Rock doesn't need to win the Rumble. Somebody else has to win the Rumble.
Maybe does Kevin Owens need to win the Rumble? Does Randy Orton need to win the Rumble? That's the thing.
I'm in. I would be happy with that.
That's the thing is it's so good to where you can have great storylines and you're trying to keep other great storylines and keep them from merging.
Yeah. Zelina hits a huge Frankensteiner with the help of Rey Mysterio chucking her up there.
Right. Ivy Nile dives out like a fucking salmon trying to jump upstream.
Right. Do you think Gunther could do you think Damien can beat Gunther? No.
We almost said that in sync. God damn.
Think he's gonna give him the old college try.
Yeah, well, Priest kind of feels like one of those guys he just needed that to say he's been a champion to validate him. And that's the peak he's gonna get. Like,
it's just made of doo-doo. What is happening?
Ronald Mysterious was a 1, 2, 3.
Carmelo Hayes should win Rumble. Is it too soon for Carmelo? But thank you for the comment. Welcome to the chat. Might be a little too soon for me. I wanted him to win the US title from LA, and maybe he does circle back around at some point and do that. But I picked them to steal it at Crown Jewel. Royal Rumble might be a little too rich for me right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna halfway think it's a pun intended with a CB duh chef. There's a CBD in there at least. But yeah, no. of Carmelo Hayes winning the Royal Rumble right now.
Might be a little soon.
The only rookie-ish prospect I could think that could win the Rumble right now would be Bron Breakker.
Bron Breakker. Oh, wait a minute. What is happening? You think I'm a loser? Is he slapping? Is American making a breakup already?
Am I supposed to care already? Like, well, this is just so interesting.
Oh, no.
You have, they're all just shoving each other now. Yeah, fight, combat, adrenaline, rush.
Remember the movie? Was it The Program? That's what it makes me think of.
Yes. Yes, I have that on DVD, and the fucker that painted himself like a goddamn Grim Reaper and everything.
Yeah,
100%. He's
like waiting for these
all of the gear, all of the roids. I mean, all of the roids,
every bit, none left for you. But
I honestly played Gizmo's Gadgets and Gears and just took all the gears.
As we are in the back with Judgment Day. Maybe Sami Zayn is turning heel. I'd Triple H improvising because Michael Hayes and Bruce Pritchard are out. Yeah, the creative team is fucked without those two. Are out for the no. Paul Heyman been driving this bus, eh, Nick?
Well, and Pritchard's out, I guess, because of halfway, like they're both kind of out essentially for personal reasons, for one way or the other, and everything. And still, like sometimes. Evolution is a thing. Evolution is a mystery. Sometimes, you know, maybe you need to get rid of a Bruce Pritchard and they just show themselves out instead of get sent out. So let's have it at that. But has the Judgment Day clubhouse downgraded? We used to be in the arena. Now it looks like we're outside the arena. We're in the parking garage.
A tale as old as time. You know, the girl, she's trying to get with you. Next thing, you got a flat screen and a Sony, and things are looking good. Then you say yes, and everything. Never mind.
From the moment when I met her, saw
her. Presumably, one belt is tied up with Cody, Orton / and or Rock. No, but I think the Rock might be busy with his cousin.
I think that's no title. I think Punk might be tied up with a title with him and Seth, but that it could also do with no title. So you could interestingly have both titles freed up into independent stories. Now, granted, it's debatable if that happens, but yeah.
Right.
There's depth enough and strength enough that you could do a main event of a WrestleMania this year with no world title involved.
Yeah, 100%. I need Spaz with another $2 super chat. I need Punk 2 Mania versus Cody for reasons. FTK. My only fear with this one, Nick, Cody ends up being a heel by accident.
There's been people that want Cody heel just because they're not fans of him as babyface, but I think you didn't do all of this Kevin Owens work for him to turn heel. Like Cody's riding this babyface shit to the wheels fall off like you did in AEW.
I don't think they're anywhere near turning Cody babyface or turning him heel. But if you put him in the wrong, we've talked about this before, and it almost happened with Gunther a little bit, but you put him in the wrong feud, people start booing him.
Yeah, well, I think Gunther has. Is it weird that there's like a caveat or whatever? Like there's a built up like tolerance or whatever with like an actual live like crowd and everything, or with the fan base. Like with Gunther may not be built up into the best thing or whatever, but it's still Gunther, so you kind of cheer for him. So he's got like that like built-in buffer for whatever reason.
Of that aura for sure.
Yeah.
No, I mean, again, I think that's the cool thing about Gunther. But I think if you put him, if it's Cody versus Punk in a WrestleMania build, and Punk's kind of, Punk's quick, I think that Cody will start getting booed. He'll come off too clean, too generic up against the anti-hero in Punk. I think the fans, I don't know that you'll get a heel Punk and it will work in that regard.
Well, And I don't know if, honestly, at this point, if you could declare what is a heel Punk in WWE and everything. And I think the issue going on right now with Cody is he's going against a guy like Kevin Owens. You almost want to pull for Kevin Owens because he's not saying anything wrong, but it's the Drew McIntyre effect. Drew McIntyre in that feud with Punk changed the game a little bit and introduced a lot of people of a justified heel of like, he's not wrong, but I'm supposed to cheer for that guy. But he's got a valid point.
Yeah, a little bit, right? So, yeah, Bron Breakker might be the closest one to the list. Already, my God, but you were wrong. We were wrong. They're not breaking up. They were mating or bonding or whatever.
They were pollinating.
Yeah, like,
pollinating is the term.
Yeah. So, of course, Triple H. No, I mean, again, we were wrong. Interesting how American Made fed off disrespect from Gable. That's the gimmick. And yeah, definitely interesting.
Yeah, Stockholm Syndrome. I say, hey, we got Miz with the.
Oh, we're back to the Miz.
You got this all wrong.
We got the Wyatt.
Is this interesting to you that the Wyatt Six has stayed a mid-card faction? Stayed a mid-card storyline. Like they've not evolved beyond.
The Wyatts?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I mean, they're a draw. I won't say they're not a draw, but they're not world champ going at that. They're not in that sphere.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they've been quiet. I don't know. Again, to me, there's a lot of potential there. I haven't given up on it, but I'm definitely not that interested in it right now. I hope they have some tricks up their sleeve. But I think we're definitely getting a 10-man tag at WrestleMania. At Survivor Series.
Yeah. Would you rather that as a War Games or the Women's War Games? And that's not just you. I'm asking the audience as well. If you want to do that as a pause before you poll before you pause, but yeah.
That's an interesting one. I don't know. Does the Miz help this?
He's the only connective tissue to me of like that's one of those of like he's the only binding agent you have in this outside of just spooky on spooky.
But I'm kind of liking this package with Miz and Karrion feeding off.
Yeah, because they can talk.
But
Miz will sell you into Miz sold people into the Marine Six.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like Karrion's done a lot of talking, and we've kind of tuned him out a little. Miz might be interesting here.
Fair enough, but I mean, to me, he's the only glue on this at all outside of just spooky meets spooky.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a good place to start. I mean, again, you had the Wyatts and the Brothers of Destruction. I in the past, I have no problem with a meeting of the same vibe. So I again, I wasn't really sure, but this whole kind of Miz part of it's got me a little intrigued.
But so then that begs the question, though, of like I said, of with everybody of now, how have your expectations, your thoughts, your opinions differed from when you started with the Wyatt Six to now? If they're going to just be mid card, like if they're Final Testament level, if they're Miz level versus where we thought some people thought they were going to go,
they're right where I thought they'd be.
I didn't say you. Yeah. I said where some.
That's what I'm saying. Like I thought this is exactly where they were going to be. I thought they were going to be in the middle and have to work through some stuff. I feel like it's been a little bit dry, a little bit cold as of late. But again, I think there's a progression. I hope there's a progression because we haven't even really saw it tapped into yet. If it doesn't, boo. But yeah, as far as the excitement levels definitely come down, but I didn't expect them to skyrocket to the top of the chart. I think they're kind of
does this have the chance to grow past where it's at?
I think so. I 100% think so. And I think they're trying to use something like the Wyatts to wake up Karrion Kross, who's been all but that close to release for how long now? Like the Final Testament's been awful. So
Do you
I
see
think
a merger between the two?
Right? What's that?
Do you see a merger between the two?
I don't know. That might be a bit of a stretch.
The final Wyatt? The final Wyatt.
The final. Wrestling fans have zero appetite for a true babyface anymore. I disagree. Unless someone is having a character change like that. Nah, because Cody's over as fuck. Like you listen to the crowd, you listen to Jay White, you're a babyface. There are plenty of baby faces. It's about presentation, Nick. And this idea that they don't exist, you need them.
Well, as I've got Gunther and Ludwig chatting backstage right now.
Yeah, a little heart to heart. All right, I'll be right back.
No, you're good. Yes, KJ's taking a pause for the cause. There we go. As I've got Gunther undressing and everybody just got moist in the arena. To me, a bit of it is the true babyface at this point is not believable. Like it's Gunther's snapping. Who's choking it? Oh, he's just choking out Priest. So we've got Priest and Gunther going at it here. My point here, I guess, as whoa from Priest. Hit between the huevos. What was Priest doing? Was he just randomly like playing bingo? Was he just running numbers? I find this interesting of the way that they're going with this between Gunther and Damien of this is the general versus the streets. As Priest shows up, you just showed up a day late and $1 short, my guy. But yeah, back to what I was saying is I've got Sheamus coming out right now. So it looks like we're about to get Sheamus versus Bron Breakker for the IC title right now. We can see Bron Breakker or Sheamus, I believe. No, he's already been IC title, so he'd be like double Grand Slam champ here at this point, I feel. But I almost wonder if in 2024, if a true pure as the snow driven babyface is relatable. Honestly, I know that that's been a discussion for years upon years, and everybody wants the white knight that you want to cheer for. You still love a Captain America. You still love a Superman and everything like that because they're the purity. They're as clean as the undriven snow. They're as babyface can get that I can't get to. But I wonder if that's the thing, is if that is relatable. If I have a heel, if I have an ambiguous babyface, even like a Roman Reigns that I can relate to, Cody almost feels passe. He feels to an extent, and I know that that's a dangerous slope of if you get to everyone's got a touch of gray, everybody's gray. But I think that's the worry, I guess, of to me, I still like Cody. I still think it makes sense. I still think that, a pure babyface has its place. But I wonder if that's why it doesn't resonate as much. We saw it with Roman. We saw it with Cena. We've seen the trickle-down effect with that. It's trickle-down bookonomics at this point here. That segment made Gunther look weak. I don't think so at all. And again, still, you have to make Priest at least look like a viable contender. Like, you can't, like, I get we all like Gunther. Gunther's great, but he can't look strong in every segment all the time because then you never believe that he's going to lose. But I will remind everybody, we are in commercial break. We are the Wrestling for Life Network. We do this for anything and everything. When it comes to pro wrestling, we're back at a Jackrabbit tomorrow for NXT. We're on the road. We're on the precipice to deadline. And then, of course, Wednesday night SmackDown, or why did I say that? Wednesday night Dynamite. it's the go home show for Full Gear. We're here. And then Thursday, we've got our Full Gear predictions. Friday night SmackDown. There we go. The wires got connected back together. But 100%. Often imitated, never replicated, never duplicated. We cover more live wrestling than anybody else out there. We just do it at a different level. So 100%. We are on the tippy toes. Tippy toes to 6K. So let's see if we can reach 6K. Christ, if we can do that by the time this stream ends, I'll be amazed if we can do that and then continue to grow 100% here. As I got the things in my eye, as I'm trying not to clear them out. But Cody ironically comes off a bit like a politician already, which by definition he'll got to learn to go in. Yeah, I won't deny that. B-Hockey. There has very much been the Homelander Cody comparable and everything of Cody comes across as the guy that you kind of already innately don't want to like, but it's the Rhodes effect that he pulls you in. Yeah, and there's been a lot of people that have been waiting for, the Cody heel turn and what that might carry with it. When will Shane show up in EW? Mega probably never. That's my real honest to God thoughts with it and everything of unless they've really been swerving all of us. And I don't know if I swerve when I drive, but if Shane showed up and he was really secretly behind this, I mean, honestly, I can't even be mad at it. You can have that. That ain't even what I'm mad at, because I'd like to see where it goes, because I do think that AW needs a pivot, and I don't know if this pothole strategy is the best way to do it. I think they're in a dangerous spot to me, I think, of you can do like the WCW kind of new blood thing and everything, which was such a hard reset, and it really split a lot of people. But if you keep going with this pothole thing and still learn as I go, I mean, maybe you can do it, but there's going to be some growing pains that people got to adjust with and people got to deal with. But yeah, as I'm getting a WWE merch advertisement, which, by the way, I got to pull the thing. There we go. No, I need to find the thing. Where's the thing? We have merch too as well. I'm just glad my producer team is ready. But yes, 100%, folks. We got all the links below. We got anything and everything for you. Pro wrestling needs. We got the Discords. We got the memberships. We got Bradley out there gifting every membership to every time the Buffalo Bills win. Bradley, I hope your bank account's hefty, because I feel like we're about to go on a tear. But yes, 100%. We got anything and everything when it comes to your pro wrestling needs. We got you covered. We are your safe space, your only place, the place you need to be at when it comes to pro wrestling. We got you covered across the board, across anything and everything. We got you covered across the space-time meridian. Right? That's Fred Buck saying hashtag Wrestling for Life. Absolutely. We got the Wrestling for Life army out here. We're on the hashtag road to 6K, road to 7K, road to 8K, 9K, 10K. We're just taking over. Wrestling for Life Mania running wild out here. As I'm not going to lie, for half a second with Bron Breakker coming out with the IC belt and everything, it kind of gave me a little flashbacks to like the old World Heavyweight title and everything. And it's the blue in it that keeps kind of, throwing me off of they actually, realize that oceans are a thing. But yeah, we've got Bron Breakker about to take on Sheamus right now, so I would normally say, let me know who you're taking in this match, folks. But I mean, spoilers are aplenty, so I don't even want to hear it. Yeah, I think Braun has to retain here. I don't think Sheamus. I know it's a thing. I know. I even thought about the idea of him maybe going at Gunther for a little bit and everything like that. But we've said this through all of 2024 and through a good portion of 2023. And it's again, this is why we say be a friend, tell a friend, make sure you're here, because we're letting you know on things before all the other wrestling outlets tell you about this, of how they needed to build their mid-card division. They needed to establish your mid-card titles. And now is where everyone is like, see, isn't it so great they're doing it? Yeah, it's because we've been fucking saying it for almost 2 years now. I feel a little bit of now they've really emphasized their mid-card division. They've emphasized it on both brands of now it's a big thing and it's a big storyline thing. When Jay drops it to Braun, when Braun is taking on Sheamus and everything, is we're having this at the top of the hour. Like, you got to put an emphasis on them syllables, as we are in a way of Sheamus already dumping Braun on the outside here. Will Braun win clean in this match with help? Well, you can't win clean and with help, so one or the other. Pete Dunne will probably help. I bet you we're setting up for like the multi-slingshot. Oh, we clothesline instead of a spear, but it's again still Bron Breakker has the same type of speed, like that reminds you of Goldberg when he was coming off the ropes in WCW and all that. And I'm not putting apples to oranges, but the intensity and shit. But I think we're setting up for probably a Sheamus R-Truth versus a Braun Pete Dunne match, but that's probably just going to be some random Monday Night Raw. But yeah, please don't give Sheamus the belt. Bron Breakker for the win. This sadly sounds like a tired crowd that's been sitting through a second taping. Well, and so I'll touch on this, RM, as I know KJ's on the break and everything like that, and we are in the middle of Bron Breakker just tossing around Sheamus and everything. For everyone that's mad that they do the tapings, that's mad that they do, the spoilers and everything, which again, you're just a different type of a-hole if you let out spoilers unprovoked, but I digress. But which is it going to be? Like, is it, Braun just jumping on a Sheamus onto the announce table? They batten down the hatches because that's getting shit held tight here as we go into commercial break. So, again, I'll say this. But yeah, I'll remind everybody. But yeah, are you going to do the Raw taping? Like, are you going to want them to be there live for every Raw? Or are you going to be the one that wants them to have some time and have that space in between, have that, holiday break, what have you? Like, you kind of can have both. To me, I don't mind. I'd rather have, at least I trust that this creative team could do something. And honestly, if it wasn't for spoilers, we'd be pretty hyped and pretty excited for this Monday Night Raw. We wouldn't, like, if news medias and Twitters and everything like that didn't let out that this was taped, we'd be pretty hyped for this. I'm more fine with them having a taped Monday Night Raw so they can have Thanksgiving at home than I am that they're, in Oklahoma type of shit. But I digress. Cal saying the 444 saying, okay, I'm gonna keep it real. Raw's been ass since we're going back to 2 hours. The stories have been super condensed. due to smaller time slot, it's been all rush backstage, segs, and mid matches. I don't agree. I think that there's still been things that have carried on, and it shows a priority in the pecking order of I really want to see the Venn diagram of everyone that wanted Monday Night Raw to be 2 hours versus everyone that's now saying, oh, it should have stayed 3 hours. Because I feel like that cross section's pretty dominant here. Speaking of cross sections and pretty dominant,
I'll take that.
you can have that. I don't care if you want to take it. You can have.
You can have that. I ain't even mad at it.
Yeah, right.
64% of the chat's taking Bron Breakker in this one. I thought that number would be higher. I agree with you. I don't think Raw's been bad. Again, people are acting like they weren't running 2 other 2-hour shows, Nick. Like, it blows my mind. It's us as fans getting used to a quicker show, but it's no different than SmackDown.
I think I will admit it to an extent was a hard pivot, but I do think that a lot of the same people that are like, well, where's my half-hour match that I don't care about in commercial segment that I can go fuck off and go smoke a joint with and everything. Like, it's to me like the cross section, the Venn diagram of fans that wanted a 2-hour Raw and then now are mad that they got a 2-hour Raw. I think is a big overlap, which is really weird to me, and especially interesting of now the rumors of both shows are going to get 3 hours, which I still don't believe until I see it.
It's happening, dude.
I don't believe it until I see it.
It's happening. So yeah, I mean, again, this is temporary, folks. But I mean, again, a couple weeks ago, we had a really, I mean, the chat's been given Raw 8s and 9s. Last week was meh. Tape show. I mean, leading into a tape show. This show's been all right by my standards. Now we're getting an IC title match in the middle of it. But yeah, I mean,
sorry that it's a tape show and everything like that. There were again. I feel the same fans that wanted bitch about 2 hours, but wanted it to not be 3 hours are the same ones that are like,
Bron from the top.
Ooh. The same ones of like, why is it taped? Why are they getting holiday time and everything?
Wow. The tape thing is stupid. And again, it is what it is. They go live so much, a few tape shows a year. If you're complaining about that, you're spoiled. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's the way every show ends up now. That's the thing that's the interesting thing of like, I don't care about Raw. You want to know everything that happened on Monday Night Raw? Like, it's like being somebody that says, I don't smoke weed, but you want to cryptochronicite and everything like that. Sour diesel shit. I'm like, why are you trying to sell me all this shit when you're trying to say you don't care?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's interesting, and people seem to bitch about everything. But again, if you're mad that the wrestlers have a few extra nights off of taping, and there's a double up due to a tour or where they are in the world, then you're just spoiled, and you need to get over it.
You're probably a manager at a mid-level retail store.
Sheamus just begging for the slaps. Come on.
You'll do fucking nothing. You'll do fucking nothing.
Bron Breakker with the knee to the gut, though. Sheamus instantly out with the scoop slam.
I'm waiting for the spinning back kick like John Jones.
Right? Who's getting the new hardcore title first in January? Tozawa.
Nobody, because that's not going to actually be a title.
I hope they do it.
Really?
Why not? You're on Netflix. You're back in 3 hours. You got to fill some time. Let's have some hardcore shit.
That's the adult section. They're just going to cut out that last half hour of Monday Night Raw. You get the adult section.
Right. Oh, Sheamus up and over, landing on the apron. Crowd's pretty quiet. Oh, not anymore.
Beats to the battery.
I don't think Raw has mid matches. We get fun matches on the show. I do think. I mean, a long time we talked about AEW was where the work rate guys were and the best wrestling matches because they didn't do stories great. But I think WWE has definitely picked up their matches as far as quality goes over the last handful of months.
Well, you're here every Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
and you're also here every Monday.
Oh,
impartial, non-biased, 2 count. I'll say this before I pause for the cause.
mm-hmm.
Out of the both 2-hour shows that are quote unquote the flagship shows, which one to you is better of Monday Night Raw that's had to trim itself down to 3 hours?
Yeah.
Or AEW Dynamite?
Well, I'll answer that in 2 ways. One show, which being Raw, is on a weekly basis rated higher by the fan base watching. 2, I think as far as overall the program from start to finish. Oh wow! Then this has been a good match. Wow, nice backbreaker. I mean, overall, the Raw has been a better program than Dynamite for 2 hours. I mean, the 2 hours goes fast on Raw. Dynamite's interesting some weeks, and I mean, Dynamite's had a couple good shows lately, but again, it's still a lot of connect the dots and who the fuck is that and why is this happening? I mean, and we're getting shitty matches in addition to shitty storylines.
There you go, folks. You heard it here first from the source that watches every AW Dynamite and is even like, I struggle to connect the dots versus I watch every Monday Night Raw, and even when they trim it down, it still makes sense.
Right, as white noise from the second row.
Ooh. Oh, I actually thought that could have been a 3.
Two hours been good Raw, good for Raw. I mean, I've had no issue with it.
It's still like there's going to be issues. I mean, nothing's without fault. I mean, Christ, even SmackDown's been 2 hours out the jump, and it's never perfect. But trying to condense what was going to be a 3-hour show consistently to a 2-hour show, I think they've done a pretty solid job. Again, and they've done it to where they can pace things, and when you don't do this thing, you do that thing, and vice versa.
Well, we're getting a "This is awesome" chant for this match. It's still going. Sheamus on the top. The IC title is on the line, and again, we get a "This is awesome" chant. So, got to give him a little credit. But thank you so much again, Spaz. Another super chat saying you think that tape shows are a bit lacking, but still happy for the Stars getting the break. They deserve it. People forget 2 things can be true. Yeah, I mean, again, but here we are getting a really good IC title match. We might not get a title change, but there's nothing wrong with this match.
Right.
But
is it just innate in our experience as wrestling fans of we need to sit there and cheer for a guy who cocks back for a spear with a little tribal kind of shoulder tattoo and everything?
Oh, bangers. It's a banger.
Like, honestly, Bron Breakker is just Goldberg with a goatee a little bit.
Well, he just got popped.
Right.
Are you surprised Strowman returned after SmackDown went off the air? I haven't heard that confirmed, but I am surprised, yes.
Yeah.
Sheamus, amping up. Yeah.
Oh, it's a spear. Oh,
it's it.
Yeah, but that was halfway of you roll out halfway, I push you out of. That's
help you get
you
there.
have that. That ain't what I'm mad at.
Right. I have no problem with the shows, Lawanda's, by the way. Tape shows, but I do have a problem with the spoiling. But again, that's out of the company's hand. I wish we can't. If we could shut down social media, great, but we can't. So it's just
talk to Elon, not us.
Yeah,
Elon's the one in charge of that shit,
right?
Ludwig.
Oh, wait a minute, Kaiser. And the crowd is making noise. So close. That's how you get out of this one. Yeah, the crowd did wake up for a moment.
Yeah, but that's an interesting way of you. And he's going right at drop kick of Sheamus into the steps here. Of that's a hell of a way to pivot and end up with the decisions through no fault.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And now, I mean, this feels like Ludwig, Sheamus, and Braun. Survivor Series, maybe? Triple threat.
Pre-show? I know, that was so effective. It just made this man cough as Ludwig's out here. I will not stop until you're gone. Meanwhile, I've sat there and heard people even trying to sell the discourse and the dissension and everything between Gunther and Ludwig. But yeah, no, this is Silver Surfer Galactus type of shit of 100% of Ludwig's going to be out here. Oh, we got the bloodline about ready to talk to Seth Rollins. We're about to get the Shield line. Sierra, Hotel, Indica, Echo, Lima, Delta. I'd probably fuck that all up. But yeah, Whiskey, Tango, and Foxtrot. Make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe as we got Jimmy J and Sammy all want to talk to Sammy right before he's about to take on Bronson Reed. Of we're about to get, the Shield line of we might not get Moxley, even though the AW crowd's so quiet that you can hear one fan saying, "Go back to Roman." But yeah, we're about to see them dap it up, I feel.
So
how fitting is it that right as I'm talking about the Shield and dapping it up, are you Moxley?
Right? I wish.
Fucking hate it.
Right? So they are making a bloodline pitch to Seth, and he's saying, never, ever, ever. I will not.
I will not team with Roman Sammy. I will not do it at Survivor Series or WrestleMania. Sam, right. I am.
Not here or there or anywhere. I do not like Roman Reigns. I do not like Roman Reigns.
Okay, no, never ever. Never ever. Never ever.
Crowd are chanting, this is awesome. The old WWF TV shows were never live in the 80s. Hey, Raw wasn't live in the 90s until fucking Bischoff came along.
I saw it was like a little sit down. It was Jim Ross, Mick Foley, and Eric Bischoff.
Yeah.
And they actually confronted Eric Bischoff of like when he's like going in on Mick Foley winning the world title, and they're like, I think that was kind of taking a piss. And he's like, no, yeah. Was it? No, I'm good. No.
Me and all my friends. So you and two guys. Great.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm kidding, MDV.
Me and my two friends, Lefty and Righty.
Nick and KJ.
All right.
What you know about Trillville, Nick? If I was Seth, I would kick Sammy in the nards. Not today.
As I got the Judgment Day coming up.
Oh, yeah. Up next, tag team action.
Right.
Guys, we're going to get Dom and Carlito pancake.
I'm trying to think of, are they taking on the Viking Raiders?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Over under 5 minutes.
Ooh, might be slightly over because there's always BS, right? They're fighting the champions, so we'll see.
Distraction.
Right. Does that include the commercial break? Honestly.
Fuck. Shit, I forgot about that.
Right.
You fell into my trap car.
Seth did work his issues with Cody. The guy, he put a hammer to his torn pec. They did make amends. It's true.
Yeah, but the biggest thing, I'm fuck off all of that. But the biggest issue still floating around is Roman and Seth and everything. But think about it. That's the crossover to crossover. That's the turn to turns. That's the new age, heel turn, stab in the back and everything. And especially he sat there and turned around and then did it again at WrestleMania 40. Like, there's arguably the fact that Roman didn't win the main event is because he was too focused on Seth. So now I got to trust this guy. Now we're still trying to figure out if he's going to be part of this team.
Yeah, right. I mean, again, it's hasn't been frivolous. They've made them work for it. They didn't make it easy. I mean, sometimes too often, they just hug it out and we forget all the bullshit that happened that, was so serious before, right?
Right. Well, and that's still, to me, the nice little undertone that they've always been able to have with all of this. So I still want to ask, because I wasn't here on this last Wednesday, as we're on a commercial break, as we're getting up in, again, a tease for like nachos and cheddar cheese and probably a Taco Bell commercial and everything like that. But how was it to where you could hear a mouse fart, a raccoon fart out in the dumpster outside of the arena and everything like that, when the crowd's out there, go back to Roman, to Shawn Moxley? So
it's such a tough show, because here's the weird kind of, I don't know if it's like a paradox we're stuck in with the AEW fans, of like, they legitimately do, like, they'll defend the company till they're blue in the face, but then go to a show and not cheer. Like, they're all quiet during this big moment, and some guy heckles. Like,
so they're indie rock fans. They really like that band just because no one else likes that band. And then the second you ask them why they like that band, they freeze the fuck up and can't come up with shit. I've seen this before.
If you're this diehard fan base that loves everything they do, why do you not follow along? Why do you not get excited? Why, when there's a women's match, are you dead? Like, I don't get the concept. Like, we watch these shows and like, oh, well, that Jericho segment was great. Like, they're online telling you how wonderful it was, but you don't hear anybody reacting in the building. Where are those people?
Are we waiting for the AW pamphlets? Are we waiting for the AW door-to-door knockers of you? Have you heard about our Lord and Savior Tony Khan? Because at this point, respectfully, it's a cult a little bit of like, you can't tell me anything you like about it, but you can tell me everything that you hate when people say they don't like about it.
Everything you hate about the other company, just nothing you
like. What the fuck is that? Like, have something you like about you, motherfucker. Like, I can tell you everything I hate about Tina, but I can't tell you anything I like about me.
Right. Well, and
then you're just a sorry bitch.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I mean, I think the fans have become numb to a lot of what's happening, because we've seen so much happen on such a consistent basis that they only seem to get really amped up and on their feet if you're breaking a table or if you're using chairs or staples. Like, it's almost like the audience has been conditioned for like big pops and violence and nothing in between. Everything else they sleep on.
AW fans are GCW fans that just like big names.
Right. Don't get me wrong, the show has its moments, but for the most part, it's ass. The difference between 2 hours is it was the way the stories were structured and formatted. Raw stories are built for 3. I mean, again, it's built for what you write. I mean, I don't know that it's locked in like Raw storylines were for a 3-hour show. I don't know, man. I think it's been fine. I really do. We can agree to disagree on this one, but I really don't have an issue with it.
I still, like I said, I'm not of the full mindset of that. I thought we were at a point to where they were actually really filling out the 3 hours and everything. And I think that was a big emphasis that we gave them. So to cut it to 2, now you've got to tighten everything up. So I don't fully disagree with the issue of like, well, they can expound upon things. But I also don't agree with the whole point of like,
but
there was so many people that was like, why is this 3 hours? This should be 2 hours. And the second they're like, oh, we heard you. They're like, no, I'm an idiot. Why did you listen to me? You shouldn't have listened to me.
Well, and I mean, again, dude, I mean, the collection of people out there that we consistently do, we've been doing these Raws for, a few years now. I mean, it blows my mind that like, how many times did we talk about, oh, Raw has been a marathon tonight? Raw feels like it's going forever. All this filler, that boring second hour. We saw it constantly. So it's
yes,
ironic.
but I do agree though to the extent of recently. The third hour, like Raw was starting to fit the 3 hours.
I would agree with that. I think Triple H fucked up my argument a little bit.
Yeah. He caveated it, and as I've got Cody on game day, I will say good day for a brief moment here.
I think Lawo interrupts War Raiders in the Judgment Day with a speech that Lawo will beat Judgment Day for the title. I think JD is going to come out and help out, as I'm getting a package on Dakota Kai. Oh, everyone, did you guys Cody Rhodes as a get? Yes, we did. Rest in peace. Ray's dad. It's true. Oh, sad to hear that. T's and P's. Again, I'll say it. Seth Rollins has too much machismo to join Team Roman at Survivor Series. Again, I think there's a will and there's a way, Christian. And if you write it properly, you get where you're going. And I think that's the big situation there, is that you have that opportunity to build into why he does it. And again, he should be hesitant. If he just said yes right away, it wouldn't make any sense. Did you ever see Dynamite going 3 hours one day? Listen, man, I got to be real with you. They got to take care of 2 hours right now. The Dynamites in 2024 have not been strong. And then in addition to that, you have Rampage that's an afterthought, and Collision that isn't great. So you kind of got to get your house in order. And I think that's my best advice to TK in that regard is do some housekeeping, clean some things up, have a clear direction for what you want to accomplish. Then if it's going smooth and successful, then tack on a third hour. But I never want to see it. You guys think I'm grumpy on a Wednesday now? Tune in for a 3-hour Dynamite and watch my mood dissipate. I hope on the season premiere of Raw we get a live performance by Ricky Martin. Let's hope. Giving Nick some love on Nagarian, Dakota Kai, and her D Rose knees. I hope those knees can hold up a little bit, MTB, as the knee pad patrol in the chat. Let's see if she can stay healthy. Roman needs to go to Seth and face to face and ask him. That'll be interesting. I don't know. They're going to have a handshake of some kind. But here come the War Raiders, folks. Get your votes in. Who's going to win? 89% of everybody take in the War Raiders right now. I hope Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins can take a page from Dragon Ball Z episode when Goku and dude, you lost me. That's a Nick question. That's a Nick comment. Not going to lie, I'm not interested in the women's war games. I'm going to say it like this, Keyshawn. It's not that I'm not pulled in the way I am with the bloodline for sure. But I do think that the match is going to be fun. That's the only saving grace for me on this one. I didn't like the build. I feel like you shoehorned it in. In my humble opinion, I wish they would have maybe didn't, forego it this time. But they want to do the women's. It's kind of the norm at this point. I don't love how we got here, but I'll put up with it. I mean, it is what it is. I think the match itself will turn out okay. A lot of good names in that match. Bianca versus Nia advantage match? Okay. Did that get announced? I think Drew's WrestleMania opponent will be Wade Barrett. That'd be interesting, Damien. We saw them tease it a little bit during the Punk feud. I'd be interested. Could Dakota be a good shout when they introduce the women's IC title? Yeah, she fits well. I think it'd be a bit of a surprise, but I think she's in that category. I think it'd be perfect for her. We talk about Chelsea Green, and we talk about like a Naomi and such on the other side. I think Dakota Kai is somebody that could definitely run with it. It's so weird when they do the stomp on the entrance, but no pyro. A little bit. Right now, we got War Machine in control of Carlito. And listen, they've been booked well, and you guys can let me know in the chat, how do you feel about their current booking? Since they came back without the face paint, with the leather vibe, not the, kind of the more modern Viking, if you will. How do you guys feel about it out there? Your thoughts on the New Day episode? Do we get Kofi or Woods' turn? And does the turn involve Big E getting attacked? I don't know about the Big E part because, again, I still don't know where he's at with his physicality. But we've been highly anticipating this for a long time, guys. So you guys can let me know out there if you can't wait for it. There's some what if it's Kofi? What if the shocker is Kofi? They're definitely leaning that way. But as far as Woods being the guy, but who knows? It's got to come to a point at some point. As Ivar, Erik, big headbutt. Dom running in to help Carlito, but changes his mind. Raiders, 100%. So there's hope for that tag team division. They've been booked like a library. I like it. Wade Barrett utter the words, Raw is Ward. Did he really? War Raiders have a great booking. Modern Viking. I thought that was funny. Shockmaster all the way. War Raiders just look like a cool biker gang. More Vikings than Vikings now. I'm okay with it. They're from Viking lineage, but they ride motorcycles now. But Dom with the tope as we go to commercial. There we go, folks. Get in that chat. Click all the buttons. Remember, we want to get to triple digits, but keep it going here tonight. We got more coming your way, and as we are back tomorrow for NXT, we're looking forward to this one. It's going to be fun. Wednesday, we got the go-home show for Full Gear. Thursday, the preview show for Full Gear. And then Friday, the usual SmackDown Rampage. And then Saturday, Full Gear. Sunday, Bloodsport 12. So we're going to be here for that one. Looking forward to it. And then straight through another week, nonstop, folks. So again, be a friend, tell a friend. We're this close to that coveted 6K. So help us get to our next milestone. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. But as I mentioned, Raw is on commercial break. The tag match continues. Heel turn Vance for who? KJ, random question. What venue holds more people? Survivor Series in Montreal or Elimination Chamber in Toronto? Elimination Chamber in Toronto. If my memory serves me correct. Skydome, essentially. They're going to pack that building. I don't know what the wrestling capacity is, but I feel like it can go up to, it's got to be close to 50 plus. So they're going to jam that. Montreal, I believe, was a smaller show than that. I can't wait for this one. I think it's going to be real cool, Kyle. There you go. Not too much spoiling going on. We appreciate it, folks. What happened to Mahala? Copeland Studios, welcome. The Viking Raiders are just HA. Oh, yeah. They just well deodorant. Or with, maybe. No, Roddy, your trash idea. What did Roddy say? OTC fifth man Ryback. Yeah, wonderful. Ryback couldn't make it to the ring if you paid him. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Bloodsport will be good. Can't wait for this one, Anthony. It's going to be fun. Carmen Petrovic's going to be there. A bunch of other names, I believe Speedball and Josh Alexander are going to go one-on-one at Bloodsport as well. So, yeah, we're looking forward to it for sure. Where do wrestlers go for its 10th? The Elimination Chamber. Here you go. That works for you, buddy. Heel versus heel, Chair. What did Chair say? Please let the Raiders destroy Dom. Yeah, but the Raiders aren't really heels right now. They're kind of in the honeymoon phase where they're just getting cheered because they're back. Who wants to see NFL Network Kyle Brandt compete in the Royal Rumble? That is random. I don't know. As folks, the show is still going. The War Raiders are more than tweeners. Yeah, they're not tweeners. I wouldn't call them tweeners at all. like I said, they kind of lean babyface right now. They got a chip on their shoulder, but we're in that honeymoon phase with them. But to me, they're not heels at all. Not right now, anyway. They're not cheating in any match. They're getting a huge pop. They're just being badasses, and we like it. So until they beat up a babyface, we're good to go. The War Raiders are more tweeners. Yeah, I disagree. Again, don't get confused. They can be badass. They can be badass baby faces without being a tweener. Could this Wyatt 6 storyline in the Final Testament lead to Bo versus Cross? I hope so, Damien. That could be fun. And that would be a real good payoff for both of them. Be interesting. I'll explain. Kyle Brandt was wrestling with Kurt Angle in a segment after. Oh, okay. That makes a little more sense, Christian. Thank you. When do you see the Judgment Day versus War Raiders tag titles? Survivor Series, maybe, Kyle? Maybe. If it hasn't already been set. I could be wrong. It might already be announced. Carlito he did. It was hilarious. He even talked about it on one of the podcasts of like, oh, I was definitely taking my shirt off when he made his re-debut in Puerto Rico. Or when he came out in Puerto Rico. But we got the tag to Ivar. Back body drop. Ivar flying. Big splash on Dom Dom. Push Crossmore. Hey, it's one of the things that he hasn't quite done well with. One of my knocks on Triple H's booking is Cross is still kind of lost and hasn't been that meaningful. So we'll see what happens here. I do wish Bo had more in-ring promo time as the Howdy character. Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of cooled off a lot. I wish you give us a little bit more. I know we're kind of doing the Bronco Buster in the corner. But I know we're kind of doing the vignettes and the kidnapping. But yeah, it would be nice to see them in front of us a little more often. But does that hurt their mystique? I don't know. It's been a little quiet. Dom getting crushed by Ivar. Absolutely annihilated. Ivar is the peak man. Yeah. I fully support Ivar for the cover of GQ. What is going to take for Seth Rollins to put aside differences with again, I think they're going to go with the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and that's it. Bronson's joined the one side, so if Seth still wants to get his hands on Bronson, that's where he's got to do it. I'm a huge fan of Cross. I'm a big fan of Cross, but his WWE career has been lackluster at best. Oh, as we get the combo, Carlito gets tossed up, eats the clothesline.
Speaking of lackluster at best and also combo. But yes. I tried to shoehorn two things into one, but yeah.
But yeah, the War Raiders pick up the win. Speaking of wins, Nick is back.
That ain't a win. That's a loss.
Main event is Seth versus Reed.
That's an addition that's a subtraction by addition. Sorry.
Right. Silly rabbit. So far, I don't hate anything we got tonight. If you say Rod is mid, I won't disagree. I don't think it's been bad. Listen, it's been pretty good. There's been some light stuff, but the Sheamus match with Bron was great. And the tag match was good. So, I mean, an hour and a half in, a couple good matches, not a whole lot of juicy story. It's been nice.
If spoilers weren't abound, how would we grade it? That's the thing.
Well, we got a really big main event coming up.
Well, and that I think that's going to very much implicate a lot of what you were even talking about before. Do we get the hand dap and everything like that? You know, Sierra, Hotel, Indica.
Maybe on Friday? I don't even think Roman's at Raw.
We don't know.
We don't know. It could be a surprise.
We didn't look at spoilers, unlike some of y'all fuckers.
Right.
Not looking.
Whose time are you cutting to push Cross and Howdy? Well, I think that's the interesting part of this, Mr. Noob, especially with the 2 hours. It's more of a cycle. So, like, you'll see, like, a Judgment Day heavy episode. Hey, Speak of the White Six.
Right. Speaking of howdy.
The Miz.
Looking
like a Friday night
for a
at the
second thought that was JD McDonough. Like, why they just write liar on his chest on the stomach?
Look, Bo just unmasked.
Tell me though, I for half a second keep it a buck, not trying to win internet brownie points because they ain't actual brownies, so I don't care. That looked like Bray. That's Bray right there that I'm looking at. Like, that looks the same type of shit. Like, if that was like, I at least know that's the motherfucker's brother. Like, I like, it's so close. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for what happens next. Wow.
You chose this.
I love this right now. We were just saying how this is pulled off. This is, let Bo do more of this.
Like, that's the thing is you can't do magic constantly in front of the audience because eventually they figure out where the tricks are. They eventually figure out where the fucking the gimmick is and everything. You keep it still in pocket. Like, I'm telling you right now, this is the most I've gotten Bo and Bray misconstrued because with the disheveled look and the hair across the eyes and everything, it reminds me of OG, triple OG, Bray Wyatt, like that.
I mean, again, and it's a good response by my standard to them losing, right? Like, they took a beating for the first time since they've returned. We saw them on the losing end of an altercation. So Bo is a little more unhinged, a little more, unkempt, if you will.
Yeah, well, it's one of those of so you want war. So you chose to stand around with this instead of walk away. So I guess I'm going to move you out of the way now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you chose to stand your ground, so now the ground you're standing on is the ground I want, so I will move you now.
Yeah, I like it, man. Again, we were wondering, we were just literally saying that the Wyatt stuff's gone a little cold, and it has. If I'm giving the double its due and calling it the way I see it, I'm a little bored with it. Like, I don't get the same vibe, but I still see when they do show up, the crowd goes bananas. Then they give us something like this, and I'm kind of hooked back in for a second. So, again, I'm curious to see if this little feud here can help both sides a little.
Facts. Well, and again, though, does the Final Testament's a little the black hole, I feel, of feuds and stories a little bit.
Right. A little bit, maybe. So, I mean, again, like I said, I get something like they just did with Bo, and I'm like, that's cool. All right. What are they going to do? So I'm hoping. There are a lot of people rumoring Wade Barrett and Drew McIntyre. I think it's cool.
Better commentator turned wrestler for an angle storyline. Nigel versus Danielson or Wade Barrett versus Drew McIntyre?
Give me Wade Drew. And I mean, and part of that is unfair because I saw what Danielson and Nigel became. And I think Wade and McIntyre are much better.
Is it insane to gauge that it's going to be better even not having seen it? I'm like, I know you won't fuck it up. How about that?
Right. Yeah, no, you kind of got a point, but you have to explain it. We're on commercial break, folks. What does this mean?
So, did you see in NYC today? So C Money shared it in our Discord again. This is now insider baseball, talking to insider baseball type of thing and everything. We do have the Discord. Shout out the Discord. We do have the links and everything like that. We do also have all the Twitters, the merch stores. We got all the buttons, gizmos, and gadgets for you. Make sure you hit subscribe. But there was a press conference from the New York City mayor, and then he was addressing little poke jobs that have been happening recently and everything. And there was a New York City police officer that C Money thought I looked very similar to, and then I had to explain I don't have that much salt and pepper in my beard and everything. So yes, that's what that is.
Big Nick, Officer Big Nick.
We're just finding all my doppelgangers. And it's all it is. If we're just finding all of them, it's like the Infinity Stones. We collect them all, and then we just fusion dance, and we all form Super Big Nick.
Right? You're definitely the cop that confiscates the product.
Yeah, 100%. You and I are Seth Rogen and what's his name there? In Super Bad. Just out there of we're confiscating this and then proceeding to just pump pass, my guy.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, Officer Big Nick, I like it, but main event.
No one needs to be sitting there fantasizing about being handcuffed by me or anything like that. I don't want to provoke that. I don't want to put that out in the mythos, in the fear. Hey,
we're getting a Bird Lady package.
Yeah,
That's I like these little vignettes, man. They're a great way to kind of quickly give you a synopsis of why do we care.
Yeah, it's like the Crow trailer.
Right? Lyra package. If this is true, it's a good look for
Bro. She's up on the balcony. Tell me she just fucking skydives off like fucking Batman.
I mean, they're selling it hard, bro. I want to get your thoughts on this comment.
If this is true, is that good look for Drew to go from an epic Hell in a Cell battle with a quote unquote retired wrestler turned commentator? Shake my head. I love it's all on how you pivot. It's on premise or on paper doesn't read well, but it's all on the execution.
100%. I mean, again, if it's convincible, it works. Yeah, I mean, if you're into it and it's something where there's history between these two guys, and you know, Wade was trying to be a friend and now it's gone sour, and it's got Wade to come out of come off the chair and get into the ring once more time or whatever. I think it works. It's all in how you package it, like you said.
Well, and you have to have it one of those to where Drew goes like at Wade. Like you have to. Yeah. You have fresh ground. You have unfiltered territory to an extent that you can do that, versus when you do Danielson versus a Nigel and you sell it on Ring of Honor and you can't even live up to the jock sniff of Ring of Honor. Like, nah.
Yeah. And we got Xavier kind of reading the riot act to Otis and Alpha Academy, as New Day are going to fight them next week.
I feel like with everything, whenever I see any of those segments, I just hinge on Otis's free Otis shirt, and I just want to be free from that whole segment of just, it's not good. It hasn't been good. I've already gotten confused with when we're going to get the New Day anniversary angle split. We know it's coming, so just do it. Like, I know you're going to pull the Band-Aid. Just do it.
I want them to do the anniversary show, and that's where they do it. Like
that was like 2 weeks ago.
No, but I want them to kind of like, pardon me, have a moment as I die. I want them to have a moment.
You're having a moment. You're having a moment trying to talk about having a moment.
Right. But Bronson Reed is in the ring, folks. We will take your predictions on this one, as 84% of you were right about the War Raiders.
Yeah, not spoilers. But it's so interesting. Well, I will say this, even though this is a spoilerific Monday Night Raw, the spoilers that I at least knew about, they flipped. Like, I thought one was going to end the show and everything, versus like the way we're going, we're ending it with Bronson and Seth. Like, we're really taking the bloodline storyline's dominant here. That's why a women's War Games feels at best.
Oh, I'll say what I said when you were on break, Nick. Do I like how we got to the War Games? Not really. Do I love the teams that are in War Games? Not really. But I think it's going to be a good match is the only saving grace of it. Of like, the match is going to be all right. It's going to be a good one.
It's a War Games. If you find me a bad, you can sit
They've
there
had bad War Games. Let's not be silly.
Name one.
But any blood and gut.
Well, fuck. That's a promotion. That's getting caveated. And again, does the anarchy in the arena, does the stadium stampede count as a War Games?
No, it's not a War Game. Only a War Game is a War Game. But yeah, I mean, I think the match itself, I mean, again, it could suck. But I think the people that are in it are going to make it a real fun match. We're going to get a big EIEIO, big EO spot.
Yeah.
Otis is like the guidance counselor for the New Day. I know it's ridiculous, but this one's kicking off.
Slip inside, get loose. More punch than a bowl of juice.
Right.
Well, I'll ask this with the men's War Games. Would you have rather Seth versus as instantly the Bloodline 2.0 shows up? So we don't even get ding ding. So hey, ta-da.
Well, we know what's happening.
Would you have rather had down since day one is shouting down since
folks. We gotta fight.
Yeah, but would you rather have this on, say, a Survivor Series? This is, say, this is your pre-show to set you up for the War Games match later on. Like, how?
Wait, what?
Do you need a 5-on-5 in this War Games, or could you have just left it at 4-on-4?
War Games is 5-on-5. They're just
no, it's 4-on-4.
Last year's was 5-on-5. The year before was 5-on-5.
We did a whole Hot Wings show, motherfucker, to where I had a trivia question to where it was going to be the odds-on favorite of most War Games matches are 4-on-4.
No, the War Games have not been 4-on-4. Survivor Series matches, yes.
Whatever.
No, but seriously,
they're on the same show.
But the War Games matches have been 5. Period. That's just how it's been. So they're not changing. That's all. They didn't reduce a guy. They found a reason to. And again, Bronson's a great pick. He's going to be amazing in that match. But
if we didn't know he was New Zealand Australian, we'd be like, "That you fit. You're just call him, Zoomies Fatu, and we would have been fine with it."
Right.
As we go to commercial break, as Seth's out there with the topes.
100%. But yeah, folks, we are on a commercial break. Remember, we are back all week long. It's going to be a fun one. But yeah, we got lots going on. Tomorrow, NXT, the Go Home Show for Full Gear, and so much more. And again, as we saw earlier, go get your fucking swag. That's my pitch
Not
tonight.
Just the swag. Yeah, well, should we cut to the brought to you by your sponsors right now, or do you need me to sit there and voice over it?
I can do it.
There we go. Big words.
Big drum roll. Nick, voiceover.
Buy your things. Oh, I didn't know there was in there, the good music or anything, but 100% make sure you 100% strap on and strap in. Make sure you join the Wrestling for Life Army as we're on the road to 6K. So 100% we got you covered in all the battle fatigues, whether you're out there in the urban camo, the suburban camo, whether you're out there in the minivan camo, we got you covered. So 100% be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe as we're on the road to 6K. But yes, we got anything and everything when it comes to your merchandise needs. We got everything covered from, crop tops to drop tops.
Oops.
I don't know what's happening, but
button drops.
Folks, I'm out there in the space-time continuum.
Right. Nick Aldis is getting the blame for this. Not likely. War Games 5-on-5. Yes, sir. Thank you. So that's all. All I'm saying is they're always 5-on-5. Like, the baseball team puts the same number of people on the field. That's all this is.
Was anyone going to be really sad if it was 4-on-4 versus 5-on-5 of like, I need my 5th member?
But why would anyone be mad about adding a Seth Rollins and a Bronson Reed to this already chaotic situation?
Well, why would anyone be mad if you didn't?
But nobody would. But you just threw a cherry on top of the fucking holy shit Sunday.
Sometimes I'm allergic to cherries. I don't know.
Adam Pierce and Nickel, you're gonna pay.
If you add nuts on my Sunday, sometimes I got a peanut allergy.
Right. The war games we got on the main roster. That's what I'm referring to, Richard. It's been 4-on-4 for the women last year, probably because Dakota Kai was hurt. I thought they ended up going 5-on-5. I thought they replaced her, but maybe I'm wrong. Big words, big merch. There you go. Should be 4-on-4 war games. Bloodline shouldn't have a woman. And we shouldn't have a women's match. Well, we're getting one. So
trust me, we even got it for all the big fellas and everything too. Trust me, as we're both big fellas ourselves and everything like that. I think we go all the way to 2XL, 3XL, 4XL. We got, the big and tall section out there. So 100%. Even if you can't make it in the regular army, you can make it in the Wrestling for Life Network army.
Right. Belair versus Nia Jax. Next week, winner gets the advantage at war games. There you go. All right.
I'm waiting for Bianca to just look like Squidward when she's got the getting pancake eye. Just like, cheeks aplenty.
They did it just for you, Mr. Noob, but I think we fixed the volume on our newly sponsored commercial.
Well, our newly sponsored by us, so hashtag not sponsored.
Be a friend, tell a friend, guys. We're sponsoring ourselves.
Right.
Why are you going to have 5 people for war games? Because we always have 5 people for war games. That's what I'm saying.
Because you never can break tradition.
I mean, but why? I said as long as you have an
because 5 don't fit.
They were going to run
5 don't fit. You must have quit.
5 fit perfectly. But that's pause. But to me, that's the justification. As long as your story getting into who's joining works, I'm okay with it. Again, Seth,
they could be independent. They could be independent. You could have could have had this match at War Games and been fine.
Pardon me. I agree. I mean, I thought the same thing.
I mean, the only thing that sells this is because you get the Shield line and because Bronson literally he looks like all you got to do is put him in a suit with like a red handkerchief and he looks like he fits.
I said on Friday, leave him with the bloodline. Let him be a part of that bloodline 2.0. Man, him and Jacob Fatu as a tag team, just give him the belt and ask.
Where's Journey? He's going to be around the world and
Journey, fucking, I don't know what we're going to, don't stop believing. Right. We'll be here. Why can't we have 4? We could, but we don't. Why do we have not? Why do we have?
But no,
we could. I mean, but again, if somebody puts sprinkles on my shit, I'm gonna be okay. Like, why are you gonna be upset?
No, if you ever want to trick KJ with a cupcake, put sprinkles on it.
I'm an easy mark, bro.
He's an easy sell. Me, not so much.
That's the original rule of Survivor Series. Yeah, the OG Survivor Series were 5-on-5. I used to like them back then. 4-on-4 in the 80s and 90s. It's true. And again, all I'm saying is the last 3 war games, or since they've gone to the main roster, they decided 5 was the number. So that's what we're getting this. And I like Bronson. I want him to be a permanent member of the Bloodline 2.0. To me, he almost helped validate them. They felt like such a force with him on their side.
If you were going to do 5-on-5, to me, this is the best choice. You have Bronson Reed, like you said, he fits. And again, you have him and Jacob. Oh my God, I'm waiting to see who goes through the cage, let alone who's in the cage. And you get Seth and you get that connection of, well, he's got to pair up with Roman, right? And everything of if he's going to step up as Bronson just eats it into the steps here. But if you're going to do 5-on-5, this is the best case scenario.
But again, for my money, I mean, it really, I agree with you on everything you said. And the idea that, there is a sprinkle of that long-term storytelling, that history between all of these people. It's like the super team, like you said, it's the Bloodline Shield or the Shield line, right?
It's the Shield line. It's the Shield line.
So, I mean, again, I don't hate it. I just find, I mean, if you don't like it, I understand. As I said earlier, it wasn't my first option. I would kind of want these two to have a one-on-one match.
If you had to have Seth and Bronson, or would you rather have Cody and KO?
I'd rather have
between the two, because I get clearly one of the two.
I will, I promise. Bronson and Seth for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Seth's about to pop up here. Oh, springboard knee. Maybe it's just me, but I don't love Bronson matches. I love Tsunami. It's like everyone loves Baja Blast, but hates Mountain Dew. But the majority of Bronson matches are slow grapples, headbutts, and running into people. Dude, he's a big. You expect him to run in marathons? He's not out here hitting shooting stars.
He's in the beefy division. He's not a sprinter.
Right.
Right. He's a heavyweight. He's not a featherweight.
Which, as we randomly cut to commercial, and I see CB, Chef, Christian, all of that, John C, all of that. How do you feel that the Samantha Irvine, the Ricochet Twitter experiment seems to keep getting a lot worse before it gets any bit better?
I gave my opinion on this last week, and I mean, I still stand by it. I mean, they continue to. I mean, they talk about like Samantha was on such a high level with so many people. To me, she's devaluing herself. And again, I just don't get it. Like, stop. Like, if you are a professional at your job and you're getting paid what you're getting paid, grow some thicker skin, grow some, understanding, and ignore things. Like, why are you arguing with nobody? It's insane. It's 5% of your audience. It to me, it screams insecurity and then love and support. So, hey.
We do this at times with nobody and everything else like that. But yeah, to me, it's shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Like, out there to wear her statement of, like, did you see how much hate I got? Yeah, I'm sorry I missed the 10 comments that hated you in the 5,000 comments that loved you and everything. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Who gives a fuck? Like, how soft is your ego that you can't handle a little bit of fucking razzing from nobody's? No,
we have regulars who razz us. Fuck is you talking about?
Right? We got people in this chat that give us a hard time. And what?
We have hosts. We razz each other. Fuck is you talking about? That's the thing. Is I'm sorry. I guess it's the New York, the New Eastern, or like the New England, or like just what is you talking about? Shut the fuck up. Like, I'm getting paid millions upon pavilions and everything like that to do this, and everyone's praising me, but I'm gonna now play the victim on 10 comments on one post. Like, shut the fuck up.
You summed up everything I said in 4 words.
No, I'm sorry. We're at least long enough that I can say it now without getting struck down by the YouTube overlords and everything. But just sometimes do more, say less.
Yeah, it's just like, who cares? Who cares? As Bronson and Seth are back at it.
Asking you guys is the best part of the show. Right. Exactly. Right. You know why? Because we can fucking take it.
Listen, we've exchanged some words. When we always try, we are the Wrestling Utopia. So as much as we argue with people, we always want to be welcoming to people. But we've had some exchanges with people that aren't great. We get comments on our channel that people just want to tune in and be like, well, you guys eat shit.
We've had exchanges with ourselves. Let's be honest. Right? Let's pull back the curtain.
Right. At the end of the day, you delete that shit and we move on. Like, I get it. Like, it's just, we're good.
And I mean, like, I guess I've never been at that point to where, thousands feel like 5, but yeah, just like, shut the fuck up.
Right. Seth gets a 1 count on Bronson.
Right, but Stoner Jesus, I don't think we actually mentioned. We got a number de patrie blunt to be with here. Seth's about to hit a pedigree. It's so fun and interesting that that's part of his repertoire.
Right? Samantha talks way too much and thinks it's Ricochet's fault. I think it's just like, again, it just comes off as weak insecurity. And I think I said this last week with you, Nick, just have a meeting and guys and stop this. Like, you see, like, again, when you talk about respectability of the company, I think a lot of fans got turned off during the Punk saga. I think guys like Dax Harwood scared fans away because you just talk down to people and this constant combativeness with nobodies. And I think that ran off, even if you were just as a viewer seeing that shit. I'm not watching this guy. He's a fucking loser.
It's a really shit way to sell your product when your wrestlers talk the same way your fan base does to anyone that has any sort of negative criticism. That's the biggest issue. Like, imagine if Roman Reigns was out there of like, really? You think all of my fucking blood is my Samoan cousin? Like, just stop that shit. Like, I get you want to have a connection, but there's a difference between being a major promotion and being an indie promotion, and AEW can't find the line.
Right. No, I agree, but big brainbuster by Bronson going up top.
But it's one of those of, like you said, with Dax and everything like that. Act like you've been there before, motherfucker. Like, act like you, like, this shit's above you. Why are you getting so caught up because egg avatar pick XYZ pajama 3579 said you suck at wrestling? Like, what is the issue?
Yeah, it comes off weak. Someone on Twitter put it beautifully. Bo Dallas is morphing into Bray Wyatt in front of our very eyes. I like that, Misfit. Shout out for that. But big pin. 2-2-2.
Right. Oh, Seth got a little blotchy spotchy catch up stain.
I send all my death threats through the big dog.
He doesn't know which one's gonna get it, so he doesn't know how to answer it yet.
Heels need to win women's war games. That's a tough show. We will be here for a prediction show next week.
The only way you guess that is because baby faces win men's, so you got to counter. Oh, stop! Seth going up of he knows now a one stomp ain't gonna put this big son bitch away.
Big stomp, yeah, he knows. You're right.
Oh, as solo. When since 2020 have you seen someone show up with a mask to try and hide their disguise? And I don't mean like a mask. I mean like hot mask. Like,
oh, Death Valley Driver.
Tsunami. And Wade Barrett, even though he was given solo props, moving away of like, you might be contagious. You had that mask.
And Bronson gets the win. So we all know what that means.
It's still,
What?
Interessant. And again, still, like you said it perfectly even on Friday of like Bronson just fits. Like he just kind of checks out into that.
He kind of like, again, it felt a little more valid. They almost felt like a bigger threat with him in the group. Literally and figuratively.
Yeah, you got a war machine. You got a walking war machine.
Right. Like
that's the way we go off of Monday Night Raw is Solo raising the hand of Bronson Reed standing over top of Seth Rollins here.
There you go.
So, folks, you gotta make sure you tune in to Friday Night SmackDown.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of Raw. We will take a rating out of 10 on the show tonight. Let us know how you felt about it. What did you like? What didn't you like? But yeah, big Bronson Reed standing tall at the end of the night. Solo with his hand. And again, for my money, dude, he fits. He fits. And I know people, why are they doing this? He fits like old shoes.
Yeah, like a worn-in shoe. But I don't think we've actually fully talked about this of the whole conspiracy and everything of with Roman and the phones. I know we got into did Sammy switch phones and you got distracted on that whole thing.
That was stupid though.
But of if Roman can't contact Heyman because Heyman got his phone stomped out because Solo stomped it out before he took him out, or if we're going into remember when we were getting around WrestleMania 40 and we had call Roman Reigns, call The Rock. We had two phones, so maybe you got one line, but not the other line.
You called the wrong number? Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I think this is very peculiar. I mean, is it someone like Sammy pulls Paul back into the mix? Paul changed his number or didn't want to take the call because he's afraid? Is he mad at Roman for not saving him from Solo? I wonder. Like, I begged for you and I begged for you and you never came.
Roman's going to go and pay Heyman a visit.
Maybe.
That's the way I think. Like, what does he send a carrier pigeon of like Mike Tyson? Be free, fly, bud, fly.
7 out of 10 tonight. Bronson fits like a glove with the bloodline. Richard, I'm with you, buddy. 7.5 out of 10. Solid show. 7.5. Okay show. 7.5. Solid show. I like it. I give it a 9.
Right.
Favorite part of the show was Otis giving counseling to the New Day American Made, having an argument with Damian Priest, attacking Gunther. Did you feel like the Damian Priest Gunther part made Gunther look weak? Or is it just trying to...
I don't think it was good either, but yeah, no, it didn't make him look weak. Yeah, no, I just know all the way around with that. No. It's interesting of even still for it being kind of quote unquote a spoiler heavy of we're having to very emphasis of no spoilers of everyone's still out here 7.5 8s like still pretty solid for Monday Night Raw.
Not bad. Who do you think will should get the advantage of Bloodline War Games match? Heels usually.
2.0, yeah, it's always the heels.
The heels make more sense. 8 out of 10 for Raw. 6.5 out of 10. Wasn't overly thrilled with this show. It was okay. A couple of good matches, but wasn't really that invested. Fair enough. 8. All the matches we got tonight were either solid or good. 6.8 out of 10. Anthony skinning the cat on that one, Nick.
Yeah, well, and it's a line and depends on what you knew going into it, what you didn't, and again, some things were really good to start off the show, and then something like there was a lull in the middle, like you hit a divot.
I thought the Sheamus match was a little before the middle, maybe. Is that why?
Well, I mean,
7.5, 7.
I'll give you that. So then you had an A, a B, and a C. You divided between
A, B, C, D.
E's, yeah. 1, 2, 3.
I think
Steaming with Bronson Reed.
Right. I think Bronson Reed being added to the War Games is to help him more than help the War Games build. Triple H is trying everything to elevate Bronson. He's doing a great job elevating Bronson, and I love it. This is a big moment. We're going to get a tsunami off that cage, and he's going to be posterized forever.
Right. NXT is stacked again tomorrow, absolutely, as we will be here back at it like a jackrabbit here for NXT, and then Dynamite, go home show predictions following on Thursday for Full Gear, Friday Night SmackDown, and then back at it for Full Gear. Bloodsport on Sunday. Absolutely. Damn, the show's so short now. They've completely eliminated the repetitive weekly table and barricade spots.
not enough time.
Is that a problem or a compliment? I don't know.
I mean, we like our spot.
Well, we got our spots in. We get our shit in, whether it come hell or high water.
True, it's true.
Sorry, I didn't know if I would. Okay.
I can agree with you.
I fucked up my cue again.
Bronson, because I stand Bronson. I couldn't stand Bronson, and now I'm a fan. There you go. What do you give tonight's show? Where are you at with it?
Seven. I keep popping in my head, but it also feels like it might be slightly bold. Like I'm not opposed to a 6.5.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to not. Obviously, I know nothing with the spoilers and everything until I still think it was pretty solid. So that's why I'm like a 7. Some of it was a little clunk in the junk. I'll stay at a 7.
I'm with you. 7. I mean, again, keep it simple, but I'm right there.
I took a long way to say it in a simple answer.
Listen, I got to do what you did earlier. Is I got 4 words to solve the end of that sentence.
Right.
But no, 100%, man. I think it was 7. Considering again, it was taped and what you felt or didn't feel. That overall, the matches were good. I really liked that Sheamus match tonight. Like Sheamus and Bron had a good Tilly, and when we're still kind of trying to figure out Bron's in-ring prowess, I think this was a good match for him. I think it really showed well for him.
I really just hate spoilers more than anything. Well, no, because think about it. Of like everything we had was really solid. Was actually really pretty good. Like imagine if, spoiler alert, if I didn't know Rhea Ripley was going to show up tonight. I thought that was going to show up to close out the show, not to start the show. Right. But imagine if I didn't know that. Imagine if I couldn't already predict that Bron Breakker is going to beat Sheamus.
Yeah.
That's just that little bit better. Like, that's the thing that's why I'm almost like, is it a 6.5? Because it should be a 7, but because you taped it, and I know why they had to tape it, but people on the internet suck. So yeah.
Well, it does definitely soften the impact, right? Like it definitely has that, you're not as surprised. Even if you want to act surprised, you're like, oh, okay. So it takes a little bit of that spike in your fucking feels when you're going through it. So it's unfortunate. It's part of the internet. We can't do shit about it. Do your best to avoid them like we do. But I mean, again, I think the show, if you're trying to eliminate any of the secondary vibes, I think 7. Even if this was a live show, I think 7 seems fair. 7.5, I could stretch, but not much further. But 7,
I'm 7 is peak of 7 is peak, and then I'm going backwards of 6.5. Like to me, this is a really good strawberry daiquiri until I realize it's a virgin daiquiri.
Right.
That's the feel a little bit with this.
Too many jokes there.
Go ahead. Come on.
No, I can't. I want to stay live. I want to be able to just keep doing this. The main event, Sheamus Bron Breakker, but Sheamus versus Bron Breakker should not end in the DQ. Yeah, if they're building a story, there's nothing wrong with it ending in the DQ, I don't think. During on Raw or SmackDown. During Raw, I don't know.
Right? Well, we even got, where is it? Denisha. Big Nick, please don't let spoilers let you rate show 7 or 8. Like the spoilers are helping me rate it more.
No, it's the other way around.
It's the other way.
All right. I hope we get Ludwig. I think we might get a triple threat in that IC title scrap. So we'll see. Triple H does like triple threats, ironically.
Do you think Gunther's getting sick of Ludwig and that might be a split?
You know what would be cool though? If they had a split, could you have Ludwig versus Gunther for the world title at an international show? Would they save that for like going overseas?
An Austrian match.
Yes.
In an Austrian rules match.
Back to Germany.
Much like you weren't going to make jokes about things earlier, I won't make jokes about this now.
Right. In your opinion, is there's for my taste, there's slightly too many triple threats nowadays. We have a lot of them.
There's a lot of multi-person matches, and I especially hate the multi-tag team matches, and they don't do them well you only have one person from out of the 4 teams versus you have one person from each team. I've been a champion of that.
Oh, 100%. But I mean, all in all, it was a decent Raw tonight, folks. As it says on the screen, we are back tomorrow. Another fun one on the stream. We appreciate everybody in the chat. I hope your Monday went well. We were happy we could cap it off. We are coming back tomorrow and all week long with all your favorite wrestling. Check us out on socials. Click all the buttons. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Help us get to 6K. And we appreciate all of it, Nick. Not bad. Not bad. Kickoff.
Not bad. But our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. When you talk about that wrestling, you put that for life with it.
That's it, folks. See you on the flip side. Have a good night.